Jack-wagon free zone. This is a jack-wagon free zone. Boom. Boom. It's a jack-wagon free zone. This is a jack-wagon free zone. Boom. Yo, welcome to the ripple effect. OGs listen while they finish their sets. Dog band, get that pimple in check. Everything got dribbled and wet. People died a miserable death in the mud like a fish in the net. History ain't even correct. Free your mind from the prison they set. We're trying to get your vision correct. It's a jack-wagon free zone. This is a jack-wagon free zone. Boom. Boom. Bricks melt past 1080 degrees Celsius on the show with the guy they call Steve. Bands cool like the wind and the breeze. Earth melted and all the mud freeze. Bake you up like a kick in the knees. Glass streams, we hit in the trees. God bless you like when we sneeze. What's the difference between a pyramid and a conical roof? Just listen to Jen if you want to know truth. Stick around and she'll show you some proof. And everything you learn, just shout from the roof. My name is Ray, and it's me in the booth. It's a jack-wagon free zone. This is a jack-wagon free zone. Boom. Boom. It's another component that was on the grid system. Big brother ain't so big now, more like my kid's sister. If you ever want to show a picture, Jen, I'll sit with you. Go make her taser happy, that taser's happy. I used to spend the days cutting class, puffing haze in my grades and grabbing in the back of the class. Ray was napping. It's a jack-wagon free zone. This is a jack-wagon free zone. Boom.
Consent to the wars you use to kill the poor.
We do not consent
to get taxes and mandatory vaccines.
We do not consent
to the GMOs that you grow.
We do not consent
to adhering your geoengineering.
We don't consent to the fluoride in the water supply, blinding our third eye and keeping us compliant. We don't consent to the wars you wage every day, bombing innocent children hundreds of miles away. We don't consent to you hiding our true history, or your secret societies keeping it a mystery. Cause you've been lying to all of us for centuries. Now it's time we break through your green screen reality. There won't be a rock unturned for y'all to be hiding. You're unprepared for the upcoming uprising, and no denying that you've ruled for too long. And we're chipping away at your armor with each song. We use the truth to put an end to the abuse. Once you see what's to come, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. You think we're just lambs lining up for the slaughter, but we're here to make your new world have no order.
We do not consent
to the wars you use to kill the poor.
We do not consent
to get taxes and mandatory vaccines.
We do not consent
to the GMOs that you grow.
We do not consent
to adhering your geoengineering.
We don't consent to the chemicals you're spraying above us, and we don't consent to the criminals you're paying to run us. We don't consent to your false flag attacks and shooting hoaxes. We're standing up now and letting you know we're truly focused. We don't consent to your central bank or your corporations. We practice discipline, citizen, and subordination. We don't consent to the 1% having everything. We don't consent to be puppets, we're cutting every string. I know one thing for certain, they won't control me. You had to have heard the name by now, they call me OD. I don't consent to the media telling lies to me. I don't consent to them engineering society. It's time to take over this shit, so now we're locked and loaded, ready for anything that happens at any moment. We're wide awake, there's no way that we'll ever go back. Never sleep again, and we wanted to let you know that
we do not consent
to the wars you use to kill the poor.
We do not consent
to get taxes and mandatory vaccines.
We do not consent
to the GMOs that you grow.
We do not consent.
With hearing your geoengineering.
Do not consent.
Where did our memory come from of four people? Where's that four-seater car? Four-seater car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still, how is this all being done? Just boggles the mind of what's going on. We have no answer whatsoever. After all this pondering and all these roundtable discussions and Mandela Mondays and all these talks and shows, nobody has a fucking clue what's going on. We're all still in the same boat.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. I got about 20 people here. I have a return guest tonight. We're having Shapu back on. Let me bring him up here. Hey, Shapu, what's up?
Happy to be here again with you.
I'm super excited, man. We have so much to talk about. We were just talking backstage, and it was just getting so good. All this information, we're bouncing off of each other, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. I think we're going to blow some minds today.
Probably.
Probably. Well, we have about 20 people here so far. I'm going to let some people gather in. I did change the time on this stream earlier, so there was a little confusion there, but hopefully more people will join in before we get too deep into stuff. Now, the last time I had you on the show, we were diving into all kinds of stuff, and we were talking about that map, and that would be that, what is it? The 1567, I think it is 1567 map of Montebano. I may have got the date a little bit wrong, but it's the late 1500s, late 1500s. And you sent me that map, and we're going to bring that up and get into that. It is so fascinating.
Tons of things on that map, and the quality is great. So.
Yeah. I could look at that map for days and still find stuff, but we're going to pick that thing apart. Shapu and I are going to give you our thoughts on the map. And then from there, we're going to expand on our story. And we're going to refer to his story here and there, but we have to remember that his story is nothing but a fairy tale. It's a lie. It's a deception that was put over absolutely 100% everything that we have before us in this realm, including whatever happened in the past. And from that, we are living a perception deception every day of our lives, perceiving people, countries, mountains, all these things that we've been taught are what they are and how we should feel about these particular things, places, and people, and how we're supposed to perceive them. For instance, things that are in a solid state. We never try to even look at them as anything but a solid state, but yet, they could turn in. We ourselves could control the state of matter if we knew how to tune in our thoughts to the frequency of that matter and change it ourselves. Yeah. So a lot of the things that we have within ourselves, they've put outside of us. Like Shapu, I could be telecommunicating with you telepathically and probably have a one-on-one, almost physical meeting with you just through astral travel and understanding how to utilize these frequency patterns in our brain. If I tune into the frequency pattern of you and I'm calling on you to talk to you and want to visit with you or whatever, we could have that without ever getting onto a plane and flying anywhere and spending exorbitant amounts of money to, you know what I mean?
Yes. We probably can already, but
yes.
we don't know how it's made. So maybe
exactly.
Sometimes you might think of something and I search and I come up with a subject. I thought of this morning, but maybe we thought of it at the same time,
Yes. I've had that happen many times where I've had a thought or I've done a show and seen somebody else's work and I've never seen anything that they've ever said. Like when you're in line with truth, I think we're all in line with truth and we're all coming upon these thoughts on our own. Of course, I see other information and I see how it fits into my information as well. But there's been so many times, especially over this last year, possibly year and a half, 2 years, where things have come to me and I've got it and I put it together. And then I see somebody else talking about the same thing in the same way it works. And I've never even heard or even looked into it before, but I already know it. This is a knowing. And they have us disconnected from knowing by living in belief. Belief is the enemy of knowing. Well, if you believe it, you're putting it beyond yourself. Well, if you already know it, belief doesn't even factor in. So people say, well, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in the fairy tales of this, that, and the other thing? Whatever.
I believe our thought waves are everywhere around us, and we can tap into anything. Sometimes I have like ideas that comes to me, and if I don't do nothing about it, like developed it or something, sometimes you get, like you said, you see someone doing the same thought that you had, but you didn't do nothing about it. But if you do something with it, it stay with you, you know?
Yeah. And that shows how we're all connected as well. When you're in line with truth and you're on a certain frequency and you're in line with that frequency, and truth has a frequency, everything here has a frequency, then it's no wonder that other people are falling in line with that same frequency, that same truth. And even though it's not like any one idea is just one human beings, we're all connected. And that shows it for me. It was like, I'm connected to other people's thoughts because they're connected to the truth. I'm connected to the truth. We're in line with truth. So you have to wind up on the same path. There's no diversion. You can't avoid it. And it's pretty fucking amazing, I gotta say.
Truth is singular, so there's no other way.
Absolutely. Okay, so talking about frequency real quick, let me see if I have this video ready to go here. I'll have to find it real quick because I think this really explains frequency pretty good. Let me close this. I have like so many tabs open. I don't even know if my stuff's going to work. All this stuff open. All right. Maybe it won't work. All right. So Shapu, I'm going to see if you can find it for me. Did you, I think I sent it to you, the video where the person's blowing a horn or singing that tune and the water comes up. Okay. So that's what I wanted to show everybody because everything has a frequency and you think, well, how can you move water? How could somebody move water with their mouth? You know, an exorbitant amount of water, not just a little bit, you know, and this will give you an idea of what the frequency of our voices can do if it's tuned in and you have things set up a certain way. And this could go across the board with even technology and stuff. If you have things set a certain way and you say a certain word, you know, the door will open or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do that screen share thing like last time. I think you pretty much know how to do it.
Share screen. Share screen.
All right, here we go, guys. Now I have to ask you, Shapu, did you click the volume on it? Because I know if you didn't, just come out of the screen share and we'll screen share it again because we need people to hear the audio on this one.
All right.
So I'll remove it. Just start the screen share over. There'll be a little box there on the lower left-hand corner to click audio when you hit screen share.
Sure. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there it is.
I didn't.
It's really small. They should make it a little bigger, I think.
All right.
All right, here we go, guys. This is an example of frequency and what your frequency, if you're tuned in, can do. Wow. wow. I mean, just wow, right?
It's just crazy.
That is some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I remember hearing stories of, or you would see these old movies and they'd be like, open sesame, and then the stone rolls away. Well, or you'll hear stories of the people in England around Salisbury Hill and stuff like that, and Avery, those mounds and stuff, they sung the stones into place. You can see how that could possibly happen.
Yeah, the Tibetan monks and stuff did the same thing. That's
absolutely.
Yep.
Now, if you have a certain symphony in the air playing constantly throughout the ether that is tuned into peace, grace, anything and everything positive that you can think of, right? Now, do you remember, because you said you just listened to the Iron Republic, they had a symphony playing through the air 24/7, the same
24/7.
symphony that I have spoken about here in our, when that little building in, what were we showing? It was India or Thailand or something, where the tech on top started to work and lit up. You heard that symphony. You heard it.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen it. Sounds like some kind of frequency of... It's beautiful too.
Absolutely beautiful. Imagine all these buildings doing that at the same time.
That would be crazy.
Yes, it would be
people happy and well. And
there's no way you could be negative with all that happiness going on around you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It would be in the controller's best interest to neutralize all that shit immediately after whatever took place. And we're going to get into what may have taken place, guys. I'm just trying to give people a little bit more time to gather. We're almost up to 30 people. This is the backup channel, so I probably won't get past 30 or 40. But share this out, guys, because this is going to be a mind-blowing show. Now, we have some theories, Shapu and I. We've been bouncing them off of each other. I made a statement to Brian Stavely earlier. Brian, if you're listening, I told him what I thought was going on, and I asked him a very simple question. What does the Mandela effect and flat Earth have in common? Because there is a common denominator there, and I think it fits in. It's a major piece to this puzzle that's been missing. So for me, the piece that's missing is Germany. That may be the key to unlocking all of this, guys. The flat Earth, the Mandela effect, what's happening, what our plane actually looks like, what's going on with these lies that are being told to us, and how we can flip the lie and find out the truth. And then what I mean about flipping the lie, because we need to learn how to do this. We're through the looking glass, guys. Up is down, down is up, in is out, out is in. We don't know shit, and we need to wake the fuck up. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain here is, let me try to give an example here.
Yeah, I know. Brian said every Mandela come back to something in Germany. It's crazy.
Yes. And it's really more or less relating to his story.
Yeah.
Those historical Mandela effects involve Germany tremendously. Even in ways we haven't even discovered yet. Like when we were on the show a few weeks ago, we were talking about the Heisman Trophy, but never really made the connection that that was a German name as well, and that his father was from Germany. And now they had bird planes. I mean, this whole bird plane thing is really freaking me out because.
And when you said like the Thunderbirds,
the Thunderbirds.
Exactly. That's what the Indians also.
And they said, they didn't say they did. I originally thought they meant maybe they were jets and that they had that thunderous noise as they go by. But, these things actually look like birds from underneath. I mean, there's no mistaking it. It's a fucking bird.
Big black bird.
Yeah. So the Germans, how do they fit into this whole thing? What's going on with Germany? Well, they come out of obscurity pretty much, start 2 world wars, and then fade back into obscurity pretty much. What was the purpose of that? Why would they just, come out of nowhere and randomly start taking countries over and stuff. And we all know, well, this is a false flag and all that, the whole Reichstag thing was a false flag, just like kind of like 9/11 and everything. So we're already starting to figure out there's parts to the story that don't fit or weren't quite as true as we thought they were. So why is it that Germany's painted to be this horrible bad guy? That's a good question as well. And a lot of people don't want to hear this, or probably are so entrenched into the mindset that Germany is a bad guy, or at least was a very big part of our historical narrative of being the bad guy. So look at it this way. It's really important for the people who give us his story for us to look at Germany as the bad guy. So maybe Germany wasn't such a bad guy. Not saying Hitler wasn't, because clearly that, everybody's got a leader and that's who they picked for their leader for this narrative, right? And this warrants further investigation. My theory is not foolproof or anything. I'm just saying, guys, it's usually always a complete polar opposite of what they're telling us. You're not on a ball hurtling through ever-expanding space. You're flat and stationary, the complete opposite of what they taught you all your life.
Yeah. The German did great invention that almost everyone uses every day. So
highly advanced technologically.
How can they be so bad?
Yes, Germany has always had another way of thinking as far as the technology that's been developed out of that country all this time. I mean, supposedly we took all their top scientists and brought them here. That's how great they were. You know what I mean? Operation
Paperclip.
There's a reason why they brought those people here and kept them under lock and key and made them work for us. Starting to look at this whole thing a different way, and us and them and these countries and everything. So Shapu, we're going to bring up that map. I'm going to bring it up and we're going to start talking about some of this stuff with what's going on with our plane and where we actually live and what it looks like and what may be transpiring here. All right, let's get into this map here. Make sure you can see everything okay before I get started. Oh, shoot, that's not it.
That's not a map?
Hold on. No, that's not it. I got it here somewhere. Hold on. I thought I had it here.
Yeah, I think the last one on the right.
Oh, the David one here. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was at the wrong end. All right, guys. So this map is of a planisphere of 1587. This would be the Monte Bano map. Now, most of you are probably familiar with this because we've looked at it last week, but there's a lot going on with this thing here. And upon further examination, we're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. This here explains the dimensions of this map. It's massive, 10 feet.
Imagine.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here a little. There's a few things that I want to pick apart on the way down here when I get to this. I get to this one section here when I can pick and choose which ones I want. I go down a little ways here. Thank you so much for turning me onto this site, by the way, Shapu. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's great.
And we're going to talk about these guys here, because these guys here in 1587 or whatever that date was, these were the guys that were in charge. These were the guys during the reset. These were the people who were around. So they have a very important part to play in all this.
The Roman one, the Persian one, all the big kingdoms. Oh, the middle, it's Africa. Just like the map. Yeah.
Yes, I have that map, and I'm going to get that up here in just a second. I don't know if I'll be able to do it on here. Let me see if I got it up on my pictures on one of these ones here. So I have a comparison map for this one. Just see if it loads. Let me see here. Hopefully I sent it to myself.
You're searching for the map where Africa is in the middle of the plain?
Yes, yeah. Ceiling Fan Man just sent it to me earlier, and I could have swore I sent it to myself because he sends me stuff through the phone. Whoops, that's the wrong one. DJ, if you're in the house, what's up, girl? All right. Sorry, guys. I should have been more organized on this end of things, but that's okay. All right. Man, it keeps coming up the wrong person. You know what? I'll just send it to myself again. That's what I'll do.
If you want, I got it right here. But you want to show?
Can you send it to me in a text message through Facebook? So when it pops up here, I'll bring it right up. Just shoot it right over to me.
Yes.
Because I'm already in a screen share anyway. Okay. All right. So while he's doing that, guys, we're going to look over here at this. Now, let me see if I can move this around a little here. Okay. Yeah.
Done.
Thank you. All right, so this here puts, I think this is very interesting. It looks like it's got the center as being Africa and the Mediterranean, and where we would consider Italy to be here, Europe. This would be Rome. Think of the Roman Empire, how the Roman Empire encompassed all this. Egypt would be right here, right in the zone, the center here. So, and we had talked before about this map that
they always pick like the smallest country that conquers the whole world, like the Romans, the Germans, the Greeks. Always a small place,
Yeah, you're right.
The Mongols.
All right, hang on a second here. Let me just get this sucker to load and I'll pull it up. Here it comes. I don't know if anybody else is going live today or not. Since we have 10 people here, but I think we have a little more.
Brian was live earlier.
He's going live later too, I think.
Oh, later?
I think around 8:30 or something. But we'll probably still be on here. Okay, guys, so here's this other map where it shows in the center you have Africa. Now, if you look closely, in the very, very center is where you have Egypt, and then you have Jordan right over here, the Euphrates, Tigris and Euphrates rivers right here, and then Italy, which the Roman Empire would be right in there as well. And then, of course, it's got the bigger outer ring, but we're over here on this one. Look at this one. Flip over to this one here. So, very similar with these two. I was hoping Ceiling Fan Man was able to watch and see the comparison between these two, because this is 1587, this map, and I'm not sure when this one's from, but it looks like it's kind of old. And then it says Cairo up top here.
Yeah,
very interesting. Centered where Cairo.
Yeah,
so why would they center it?
Right on the point.
Yeah. Right in the center there, right in the bullseye. Very interesting.
Really interesting.
And set up like this, the way they have it set in this map, it looks like the golden ratio, the golden spiral. If you watch the golden spiral and how it forms, and then it comes out and goes this way and around. You know what I'm saying? Like a seashell.
I just talked about it today. I showed a map that I made with Stefan, and I told him, look how it goes in a spiral, like it's just the golden ratio, just this morning.
Yes. Oh, see? This is just what we were talking about, Shifu. Yeah. All right, let me go back over here. And it looks like something happened over here. I don't know what.
Oh, we lost the map.
Yeah, that happens sometimes on my stuff. But we're going to get back to it here in just a second. There it is. Okay. Yay, we're back. All right, so let me go down a little further. Thank you for saving my ass on that, by the way, Shapu, for sending that right to me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, so we're going to go down here a little further. First off, I thought these guys were pretty interesting here. They seem to have something here like a plate with some designs on it.
Like another world, and the king got one too in his hand.
Right.
No, it's
definitely not a globe. It's
Jen on the other one.
It's definitely not. What's that mean?
Earth. Terra means Earth.
And what's the other one mean? Oh, they're both Earth.
But the other one, it's not written anything on it. But the one in the corner, called is it Terra or Peru? Maybe it's.
All right, let me ask you this. That's what I was thinking. I thought it looked like a P, but it could be Terra, like P-E-R. Yeah, the V's are U's, so P-E-R-U.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay, now what does this guy have in his hand? Why is there something red in the sky?
I can't really see what it is.
See what it is, but what were we just talking about before the show? We were talking about the smoky god.
Yes, the red
smoky god. Right now, I'm not saying this is smoke or I'm just saying it's red.
Yeah, it looks like two circles or.
Okay, so that's interesting, right?
Yes.
That's very interesting, these plates that they're holding, because they're not globes, guys. Definitely don't think that they're globes. See what they got in their hand here, and then he's got his flag. Okay, and he's pointing over this way, this guy.
Oh, yeah, he's pointing. No, he's pointing towards the banner.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I was trying to decipher stuff the other night. I kept typing in stuff in Italian words. trying to decipher.
There's a close-up of the eclipse of the sun. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this, guys, because this is gonna blow your mind a little bit here. What we got going on now? This plate that we're looking down on here, because this is exactly what we're doing. We're looking down. And I had to explain this when we did the 9 circles of hell and we covered all this starry heaven stuff. The way that we're looking at it is we're looking down on it like you're looking down on a dinner plate. Take this dinner plate and flip it up to where it's on a horizontal level with your eyes. And put that sun and the moon growing around it. And that center part, just like a disc, is open. Okay.
Looks like there's 2 small sun and 1 big red sun. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So we have the big one, the red one, and below there's 2 suns. Did you see it?
Yeah.
There's one from the lights emanating, and there's another. What is it? Is it a star or a sun? It's the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know if one is a sun. Look. This could be the sun, right? Right here. It's kind of starry looking too. I don't know. And this could be the moon. And then this could be that other smoky god thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure because, we've been deceived on so many levels and we're only meant to see things a certain way. And if we ever did run across it, we would assume that this is our sun right here. Clearly, it looks like the sun. Yeah. It's also red, not yellow. We don't have a red sun. Where is there a red sun, Shapu?
Pardon?
the red sun, the smoky god, is where?
It's inside.
Inside, right.
The earth.
So I don't know if anybody recalls, but we were listening to a Russian guy when I had Steve on one time. Well, we weren't actually listening. We were watching him explain on a board how the flat plane works. And he used a disc, a CD that we're used to seeing. And then he drew all this stuff on the board. And what he drew on the inside of the hole of the disc was some type of a black sun, right?
Yep.
Or some type of another circular object. Within the interior of our flat plane, as if when you go inside, it's like flipped right? So what's at this top center of our dome? We would consider that Polaris.
Yes.
Maybe this is representing Polaris. I don't know.
Maybe. Could be.
So Polaris, because it's at the center, the pole, right?
Yeah.
It would have to have an equal and opposite to that. If we're on an electromagnetic dielectric plane of inertia, there has to be equals, opposites to balance everything out, positives and negatives, right?
Yes.
So as above, so below, as within, so without. If we have Polaris at the very center of our plane, then there has to be something equal opposite to it within the interior of our plane.
Yes.
When they talk about a pole shift, I don't think they mean our non-existent globe is going to roll over on its side. I don't think they mean our disk is going to flip over on its side. I think what it means is, now I'm speculating, but from the propaganda evidence that I've gathered over these last 15 years of propagandizing us with planets and space and stuff, there has to be a reason why they want us to think that these things are real out there in space, because we might actually see something that they have to have already an explanation for. If the pole reversal involved Polaris and whatever's down in the center of our plane, it's equal opposite to whatever the Polaris is, and say those flip positions, meaning if there is a type of energy that's in the form of a ball in the center of our plane down within it, that is described, and they described it in Olaf's story as a red ball of like smoky, fiery looking stuff. And they call it the smoky god, correct?
Yes.
Right. So I asked you earlier before the show, Shapu, and I'm going to ask everybody else. Does everybody remember Nibiru and how they describe Nibiru? And we should be watching out for Nibiru, the second sun in the sky.
Yeah.
What could that be? Why would they ever even put that out into the human consciousness? Because clearly it's a lie, right? There is no space. Therefore, Nibiru is not inbound. We're never going to see some planet from the heavens coming into our realm here from the sky. But they want us to look upward for this thing, right? Because they're saying, well, it's going to be behind the sun somewhere. Well, if this smoky god, this red, fiery, smoky god, was to flip positions with Polaris, it would be up in the sky then. And how they describe Nibiru, this will blow your mind, guys. Nibiru is described as a red, fiery planet with some sort of smoke coming off of it, some kind of a dust cloud coming off of it.
Yes.
And that's exactly how it's explained in Olaf's story of, oh gosh, what's the title of that story, Shapu?
The smoky god.
Yes, the smoky god. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart there for a minute. Once I read that description of the smoky god and what it looks like, I immediately thought of Nibiru. But the only way that could fit in is if this smoky god is on a cyclical nature and it comes out every once in a while. Yep. What is the cyclical nature of Nibiru? If anybody has studied Nibiru for any length of time, Shapu, you want to tell them how often Nibiru is supposed to come around?
Well, they said around like 3,000 something.
Yeah. So there's two speculations. One of them, the first one that I come across years ago, is it comes around every 3,600 years. Yeah. And then in more recent times, listen to me. In more recent years, I've heard stories, well, it comes around every 360 years. That would make sense. To a certain extent, because when are we talking about this reset happening? Maybe about 360 to 400 years ago.
Yep.
Boom, baby.
Yep. Exactly.
And there would be no way for us to see this smoky giant, the smoky red planet, dare I say, right? Because this is what they want us to think it is. It's some red planet, right? That's flying in, coming in any day now. If it stayed down in the center of our plane, there'd be no way. So this is already pre-predictive programming. They know the cyclical nature of our plane. They know how it works, and they know at some point shit's going to get all muffed up. All right.
Yeah,
So,
like I said, this morning I had same kind of talk with Stefan, that he said to me that a lot of civilizations saw this red glow everywhere around the earth from the sun around that time. And
now look, guys, if that thing comes up out of the center of our plane and flips a position with Polaris, or however it works, because I'm just saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. So if there is some type of a cyclical nature to our planette, that this occurs, and well, shit happens when it occurs, right?
and when it flips, they say there's 3 days of darkness between the shift between the two. So no sun, no black, no red sun, no white sun. So there's a
nothing
2-day gap for it to appear.
That is the reset.
Yeah.
That is when you turn your computer off, you reset shit. And then it starts back up again. Yeah. And the story of the 3 days of darkness is, I've always heard or been told in school and stuff, was that you're supposed to stay inside, pray, don't be scared of what you hear outside, stay close to your house. You know, these types of things, kind of like, and then but it passes, and you come out and everything's new again. And
what are they preparing us for? To stay inside, to
yes,
do not
they
go
are
outside, and to crazy.
John Levy had a video up recently of an obelisk that was in a church. Now, what's an obelisk doing in a church, or a cathedral, I should say? And he was surmising that the light patterns coming through the said window of some sort across from this thing could possibly be a marker. Yep. To let them know, okay, well, the sun's here. It's showing up on the obelisk here. We're still okay. But if it ever made it to the very top of the obelisk at a pinnacle point, they would know, oh, shit, we need to get ready because the shit's about to go down again.
Yeah, that's a thing worth looking into.
Because they cannot rely. They cannot rely on the timekeeping measures of man and the shit that we've written down and all the technology that we have. If they have something built that's built to last, or, you know, these sunstones and things that we see that have stood the test of time already so far, they could go to those things and see where they're at in time. And where, you know, if they're still okay, or they need to head for the hills or go underground or whatever it is that they got to do. Yes. Very interesting.
Someone didn't want us to know these things, probably destroyed most of these sun calendars or sun, not sundials, because it's easy to make, but those calendars, like you said, in the church and in the obelisk. They moved a lot of them too, so.
Yeah. So there's a face right here, a clear face, and it's got it's facing side, like laying on its side. I feel like this here would be Polaris. I don't know why I feel that way, but I could be wrong though. This could be Polaris.
Looks like the moon.
Yeah.
The moon has a face and.
Oh, you're right. The face of the moon, maybe. Okay.
Maybe there's two bodies there. Just there's the moon, and something else. Maybe.
Yeah. You know, we see this thing pop up again, but you can't see the face as well on the next one that we go to for this one. But the whole thing started to click for me when I heard the Smoky God description of this, you know, red sort of ball in the center of the earth that seems to have a very calming, cooling effect on everything that's in there. It's very peaceful. In the interior, the description is, now I've heard other descriptions of the interior being absolutely 100% hellish. These are all things that meant to deter us and confuse us about what's going on in our plane and on our plane. But let's scroll down here a little bit more.
Red around the middle.
Uh-huh.
What is it representing? Like the red hue they were that probably was. It's looks like kind of fire. Yeah, it's written
Yeah, it says
fuego.
fuego
Yeah,
right there. Yeah,
fire. It's not ice.
it's not ice, dude. It's not. That's
Maybe
interesting.
maybe this is thing that gives some red hue to the sky with the sun, and oh, but it's not.
So,
Yeah, it's
wouldn't it
beyond
be
the
just
water.
like them? Wouldn't it be just like them to have us think that there's an ice wall instead of a ring of
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah.
a ring of ice? It's always the opposite.
Oh,
So, what is this ring of fire? They talk about the ring of fire on the globe.
yeah,
The
but
ring
it's
of
not
fire.
there. Yeah, it's somewhere else, you know. Oh,
Yeah. I don't know. Very, very interesting here. Like I said, we're through the looking glass. Up is down, down is up, and we need to start really rethinking everything in a big way, guys. All right, let's go down here and see what else we can find. There was one I wanted to click on here. Okay, the other eclipse one. Hold on a second. Let me go back over here to this. This one, yeah.
maybe that's the other side of.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at this eclipse thing. So one was a lunar eclipse, the other one's the solar eclipse, but we'll see if we can get any more information out of this thing.
This one was crazy. I didn't see that ring of fire around the first time.
Yeah, that's why, when you have more eyes on something, the better off you are. And like, we could look at this thing 10 times and still come back the next day and probably find more stuff.
Yeah.
We could probably spend 2 shows just on this map.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we can't explain anything in one show.
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in on this sucker here. All right, here we go.
This is the lunar eclipse.
Yes. All right, so basically it kind of just looks like they flipped it.
Yeah, but now it's not the moon that's in the thing. It looks like what? Oh yeah, is there a face on it?
Yeah, but it's really hard to see the face on this one. It's only the other one. Let me see if I can move it over to get to the face here. Hold on a second. It kind of froze on me. Hold on. There we go. See here, it's kind of facing upward. The face looks like it moves around this ball thing, whatever the face is. Because now it's looking upward, it looks like. Yeah. So what it's alluding to is that whatever this thing is between the sun and the moon, which could be Polaris, okay? It could be. We don't know how high up Polaris is. Maybe Polaris comes up and down during eclipses. And when it does come down enough to be in between the sun and the moon, you're going to have an eclipse. And look, you see a body of some sort moving over the surface of the sun, right? But we never actually see the moon go over the sun, do we? No. It has to be this other object.
Yeah. It's not planet for sure.
No, it's not. If we have a sun and a moon going around our dielectric plane of inertia, it only begs to differ that we probably have something going like this as well, as these things are going around. As above, so below, as within, so without. So, I mean, it's kind of telling you right there how it works.
Yeah, but our perception is distorted, Probably goes up and down, and we see it from side to side. We don't know. I mean, looks for us side to side, but maybe it's up and down. Like,
do you remember
in and out? The sun, it's coming in and out, not from behind a curve.
All right. Do you remember those people would analyze these pictures from Antarctica, the Antarctic station down there, and people would be like watching their time-lapse photos, and you would see like a planet flash by in the background. They would say, oh, look, there's Nibiru. You could see it. But it was like this big, round, faint object.
I don't think I've seen it.
That was probably Polaris is what it was. And what are we looking at here? Here we're looking at the winds. Now, this is interesting, guys, because these winds all seem to have a similar characteristic. And I just want to point out this characteristic. They all seem to be white, okay? Not being racist, just being obvious. And they all seem to have blonde, curly hair.
Yes. Yes.
Admiral Byrd and his description of what took place in his diary, when he wrote it down about what took place when he went to the North Pole, he described tall, white people with blonde hair.
Blonde hair, yeah.
These guys all got blonde hair. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Speaking of that, let me go over here to my Facebook, see if it'll work.
Yep.
Shit, maybe I should go to this other one here. Hold on. I have a video ready to go. I'm hoping it works. Shoot. Where did I put it? This is what happens when I get 100 tabs open. All right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We're going to listen to this real quick because I want you guys to fully comprehend what it is that I'm talking about here. Let me get over here and I'll do an audio on my screen share because I don't think I have an audio up. We're talking about the center of our plane now. And who is in the center of our plane? What type of sun or object is in the center of our plane? How advanced these people are in the center of our plane before we ever even go to the outskirts of the planet. So let me back out of this screen share and then we'll start again with audio and we'll listen to what Admiral Byrd has to say. Shoot.
You know, the name of the site, it was exactly for you, you know? The place.
Oh, yeah, I know, Truth Seeker.
The guy's called the Truth Seeker.
I know, I didn't even expect that when I turned it on and I'm like, what? Is he talking to me? All right, let me share this audio, guys, and you can hear every little word. Let's go back over here.
Yeah, I've listened to it today too, just to refresh my memory.
Let me make sure
It's
the
not that
volume.
long.
No, it's not that long. It's 15 minutes long, guys, and I want you guys to pay attention. Don't take a break. Be like, oh, she's playing something. Let me walk away. This is important. You're going to get schooled on something here.
But the first time I've heard this was like,
yeah, I got to come over here and mute myself. So let me mute real quick.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
TruthSeeker.co.uk.
Yes.
The
I
land between the poles, the exploration flight over the North
Diary
Pole,
and Secrecy
the
and
inner Earth,
Obscurity.
my secret diary.
It concerns
I
my
must
Arctic flight
write the
of the 19th day of February in the year of 19...
diary in secrecy and obscurity. It concerns my Arctic flight of the 19th day of February.
You're muted. No. Can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Do you want me to play it?
Well, we're going to have to listen to this in order to further with our idea of what's happening here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. You were choppy a little bit. Do you want me to play it?
Yes.
Okay. Just 1 second. I will go.
I wanted to apologize if everybody can hear me okay. I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm having major issues right now.
Is the Earth?
Let's see here.
So,
but you can hear me okay right now, right?
yes.
Okay.
I'll do a share screen with audio.
Yes, thank you. All right, guys, pay attention to what Admiral Byrd has to say here in his diary. Take it for what it's worth.
I probably have to mute myself so it doesn't...
No echo.
No.
Now, like I said, a lot of people don't want to believe this, or they're like, well, that's probably made up or inserted. But we'll just listen to what is said, and we're going to take the meat and spit the bones, because we know that they insert truth in, they leave some truth, and they wrap it with a bunch of lies and hope we never figure it out. So we have to hear what's going on here. And go ahead, Shapu. All right, here we go.
B. Byrd's diary, February, March 1947. From The Truth Seeker, truthseeker.co.uk. The land between the poles, the exploration flight over the North Pole, the inner Earth, my secret diary. I must write this diary in secrecy and obscurity. It concerns my Arctic flight of the 19th day of February in the year of 1947. There comes a time when the rationality of men must fade into insignificance, and one must accept the inevitability of the truth. I am not at liberty to disclose the following document at this writing. Perhaps it shall never see the light of public scrutiny. But I must do my duty and record here for all to read one day. In a world of greed and exploitation of certain of mankind can no longer suppress that which is truth. Flight log, Base Camp Arctic, February 19th, 1947, 0600 hours. All preparations are complete for our flight northward, and we are airborne with full fuel tanks at 0610 hours. 0620 hours, fuel mixture on the starboard engine seems too rich. Adjustment made, and Pratt & Whitney's are running smoothly. 0730 hours, radio check with Base Camp. All is well, and radio reception is normal. 0740 hours, no slight oil leak in the starboard engine. That's the right side. Oil pressure indicator seems normal, however. 0800 hours, slight turbulence noted from easterly direction at an altitude of 2,321 feet. Correction to 1,700 feet, no further turbulence. But tailwind increases, slight adjustment in throttle controls. Aircraft performing very well now. 0815 hours, radio check with Base Camp. Situation normal. 0830 hours, turbulence encountered again. Increase altitude to 2,900 feet. Smooth flight conditions again. 0900 hours, vast ice and snow below. Note coloration of yellowish nature. Somebody peed on the snow. And disperse in a linear pattern. They peed in a straight line. Altering course foe, a better examination of this color pattern below. Note reddish or purplish color also. I don't know what that is. Circle this area 2 full turns and return to assigned compass heading. Circle this area 2 full turns and return to assigned compass heading. Position check made again to Base Camp and relay information concerning colorations in the ice and snow below. 0910 hours, both magnetic and gyro compasses beginning to gyrate and wobble. We're unable to hold our heading by instrumentation. Take bearing with sun compass, yet all seems well. The controls are seemingly slow to respond and have sluggish quality, but there is no indication of icing. 0915 hours, in the distance is what appears to be mountains. 0949 hours, 29 minutes elapsed flight time from the first sighting of the mountains. It is no illusion. They are mountains, and consisting of a small range that I have never seen before. 0955 hours, altitude changed to 2,950 feet. Encountering strong turbulence again. 1000 hours, we're crossing over the small mountain range and still proceeding northward as best as can be ascertained. Beyond the mountain range is what appears to be a valley with a small river or stream running through the center portion. There should be no green valley below. Something is definitely wrong and abnormal here. We should be over ice and snow. To the port side, that would be the left side, are great forests growing on the mountain slopes. Our navigation instruments are still spinning. The gyroscope is oscillating back and forth. 10:05 hours. I alter altitude to 1,400 feet and execute a sharp left turn to better examine the valley below. It's green with either moss or a type of tight-knit grass. The light here seems different. I cannot see the sun anymore. We make another left turn and we spot what seems to be a large animal of some kind below us. It appears to be an elephant. No, it looks more like a mammoth. This is incredible. Yet there it is. Decrease altitude to 1,000 feet. Take binoculars to better examine the animal. It is confirmed. It is definitely a mammoth-like animal. Report this to base camp. 10:30 hours, encountering more rolling green hills now. The external temperature indicator reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Continuing our heading now. Navigation instruments seem normal now. I'm puzzled over their actions. Attempt to contact base camp. Radio is not functioning. 11:30 hours, countryside below is more level and normal, if I may use that word. Ahead, we spot what seems to be a city. This is impossible. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God! Off our port and starboard wings are a strange type of aircraft. They are closing rapidly alongside. They are disc-shaped and have a radiant quality to them. They are close enough now to see the markings on them. It's a type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. 11:35 hours. Our radio crackles, and a voice comes through in English with what is perhaps a slight Nordic or German accent. The message is, "Welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land with you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral. You are in good hands. I note the engines of our plane have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control and is now turning itself. The controls are useless." 11:40 hours. Another radio message received. We begin the landing process now, and in moments the plane shudders slightly and begins a descent, as though caught in some great unseen elevator. The downward motion is negligible, and we touch down with only a slight jolt. 11:45 hours. I'm making a hasty last entry into the flight log. Several men are approaching on foot toward our aircraft. They are tall with blonde hair. In the distance is a large, shimmering city pulsating with rainbow hues of color. I do not know what's going to happen now, but I see no signs of weapons on those approaching. I hear now a voice ordering me by name to open the cargo door. I comply. Admiral Byrd continues, "From this point I write all the following events here from memory. It defies the imagination and would seem all but madness if it had not happened. The radio man and I are taken from the aircraft, and we are received in a most cordial manner. We were then boarded on a small platform-like conveyance with no wheels. It moves us toward the glowing city with great swiftness. As we approach, the city seems to be made of a crystal material. Soon we arrive at a large building that is a type I've never seen before. It appears to be right out of the design board of a Frank Lloyd Wright, or perhaps more correctly, out of a Buck Rogers setting. We're given some type of warm beverage which tasted like nothing I've ever savored before. It's delicious. After about 10 minutes, 2 of our wondrous appearing hosts come to our quarters and announce that I am to accompany them. I have no choice but to comply. I leave my radio man behind, and we walk a short distance and enter into what seems to be an elevator. We descend downward for some moments. The machine stops and the door lifts silently upward. We then proceed down a long hallway that is lit by a rose-colored light that seems to be emanating from the very walls themselves. One of the beings motions for us to stop before a great door. Over the door is an inscription that I cannot read. The great door slides noiselessly open, and I am beckoned to enter. One of my hosts speaks. Have no fear, Admiral. You are to have an audience with the Master. I step inside and my eyes adjust to the beautiful coloration that seems to be filling the room completely. Then I begin to see my surroundings. What greeted my eyes is the most beautiful sight of my entire existence. It is, in fact, too beautiful and wondrous to describe. It is exquisite and delicate. I do not think there exists a human term that can describe it in any detail with justice. My thoughts are interrupted in a cordial manner by a warm, rich voice of melodious quality. I bid you welcome to our domain, Admiral. I see a man with delicate features and with the etching of years upon his face. He is seated at a long table. He motions me to sit down in one of the chairs. After I'm seated, he places his fingertips together and smiles. He speaks softly again and conveys the following. We have let you enter here because you are of noble character and well known on the surface world, Admiral. Surface world? I half gasp under my breath. Yes, the Master replies with a smile. You are in the domain of the Ariani, the inner world of the earth. We shall not long delay your mission, and you will be safely escorted back to the surface and for a distance beyond. But now, Admiral, I shall tell you why you have been summoned.
Can you pause it for a second?
Oh, the interest rightly begins.
We are in the presence of the Ariani, the Aryans, the Aryan race. And Hitler supposedly was trying to build the Aryan race with these blonde-headed kids and stuff. Just saying, we're going to go back to the video now. Go ahead.
Just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. It was at that alarming time we sent our flying machines, the Flugelrads, to the surface world to investigate what your race had done. That is, of course, past history now, my dear Admiral, but I must continue on. You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars and barbarity, but now we must. For you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely...
Can you pause it again?
Energy.
I apologize. The Flugelrads are their flying saucers, and we are told that the Germans had some sort of a German Bell flying saucer called a Foo Fighter. I'm just pointing out the similarities between a Foo Fighter and the Flugelrads. I do remember in the movie Cocktail when she was talking to Tom Cruise about, inventing something new, and she was talking about shoelaces, and she was calling the shoelace bindings Flugel binders. It just reminded me, Flugelrads, Flugel binders. I'm just saying, it's just something that popped into my head right now. But Foo Fighters, so they want us to think that the Germans had this technology that, but see, it seems to be, it's these inner realm people who had these flying Flugelrads with swastikas on them. The swastika has been Mandela affected for Germany. It's been canted now, and there's just all these connections to Germany with the Mandela effect, and clearly to flat Earth as well. And we're going to continue on.
Emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world, and yet they do not heed. Now you have been chosen to be witness here that our world does exist. You see, our culture and science is many thousands of years beyond your race, Admiral. I interrupted, but what does this have to do with me, sir? The Master's eyes seemed to penetrate deeply into my mind, and after studying me for a few moments, he replied, Your race has now reached the point of no return. For there are those among you who would destroy your very world rather than relinquish their power as they know it. I nodded, and the Master continued. In 1945 and afterward, we tried to contact your race, but our efforts were met with hostility. Our Flugelrads were fired upon, yes, even pursued with malice and animosity by your fighter planes. So now I say to you, my son, There is a great storm gathering in your world, a black fury that will not spend itself for many years. There will be no answer in your arms. There will be no safety in your science. It may rage on until every flower of your culture is trampled and all human things are leveled in vast chaos. Your recent war was only a prelude of what is yet to come for your race. We here see it more clearly with each hour. Do you say I am mistaken? No, I answer. It happened once before. The Dark Ages came, and they lasted for more than 500 years. Yes, my son, replied the Master. The Dark Ages that will come now for your race will cover the earth like a pall. But I believe that some of your race will live through the storm. Beyond that, I cannot say. We see at a great distance a new world stirring from the ruins of your race, seeking its lost and legendary treasures. And they will be here, my son, safe in our keeping. When that time arrives, we shall come forward again and help revive your culture and your race. Perhaps by then you will have learned the futility of war and its strife. And after that time, certain of your culture and science will be returned to your race to begin anew. You, my son, are to return to the surface world with this message. With these closing words, our meeting seemed at an end. I stood for a moment as if in a dream, but yet I knew this was reality, and for some strange reason I bowed slightly, either out of respect or humility. I do not know which. Suddenly I was again aware that the two beautiful hosts who had brought me here were again at my side. This way, Admiral, motioned one. I turned once more before leaving and looked back toward the Master. A gentle smile was etched on his delicate and ancient face. Farewell, my son, he spoke. Then he gestured with a lovely, slender hand, a motion of peace, and our meeting was truly ended.
So how about that?
How about that?
Yeah. Now, I mean, what do you feel like about this entry into his diary? Do you feel like it's mostly truth, half truth, no truth at all? How do you see it?
Well, the first time I heard it, it sounded crazy. But as the time passed and new information came to me, now it's more and more close to reality.
You know, what's interesting too is that this is after World War II.
Yep.
So, you know, Admiral Byrd is seeing these type of aircraft with swastikas on it and stuff. He doesn't really even seem too concerned about it.
No, it's a pleasure to see them. He's not scared of them. No, it's the Germans. No, he said, oh.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they just did in World War II and stuff, and all this craziness. This one little country, you know, rises up out of obscurity and just picks a fight with the whole world. Yeah. All right, so also they want us to believe in his lie, his story, that the Germans had contact with other beings from other planets. And they were given technology, and this is how that they were just so superior in their engineering that somehow they've came up with these Foo Fighters. And this is what was going on with World War II, that they were flying these things around. Well, it would actually seem that maybe there was the people from the inner part of our realm coming out to see what all the bombs are being dropped and stuff like that.
Maybe that's why the story exists, that these are the German. And they took the swastika because some people saw these ships with the swastika, and later they turned it around and said, no, it was us. But maybe it wasn't them at all.
And also, Germany's been all over looking for all of the religious artifacts. This German type of being there, this master guy, had said that we collect all of your precious artifacts and stuff, and we give them back to you at some point when you seem to have, figured stuff out a little bit more or whatever. Like they kind of like are the keepers of our important artifacts and stuff like that. He was going around looking for all these artifacts. He went to India supposedly looking for Shambhala. And the entranceway, there's apparently other entranceways into the center of our plane. So hollow Earth is out the window. It's not hollow into the extent that it's a ball that's hollow on the inside, like an egg or an eggshell. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Yeah, the only representation that they gave us, it's like a ball because that's what they had. But it's probably just I have some pictures of these hollow Earth holes on both poles everywhere. But it's probably just the entry point of the plane, you know. If it's a ball or not, doesn't really matter.
So I'm going to go back into a screen share here, and we'll go back over to this map after just listening to him and what he had to say about the center and what he experienced there. So what could this possibly look like? Okay, we're seeing a flat disk with a ring around it that they tell us is an ice wall, which clearly is not, because these maps depict land, and it seems to be ice-free for the most part. Maybe a spot or here or there could have some ice on it. So Antarctica is the highest landmass. Now that would be the outer ring around us of land would be higher than what the land masses are towards our part of the ring. Okay, so we would be lower than Antarctica's landmass around us. And then as you go inward, more towards the center, it must dip down again inward for this plane, dielectric plane of inertia, to exist the way it does. That there's an opening that goes in and down, kind of like a sink. If you look at your sink, how it's flat, and then you get to the center of your sink where the water goes down, and then it just suddenly dips down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, I would think. And on the outer edge of your sink is where the land comes up more. And it may extend out further and further, keep going up and up. I don't know. I'm not sure. But
it needs to be a flow, you know, from the outside to the middle.
Yes. And also, I think these openings around the border, which is not an ice wall, this land wall around us has these openings. And this is what's going on with the tides, or at least it's a part of it. I think these waters are flowing in and flowing out of these openings. This is why they're so turbulent in and around these openings on the wall. You can see we counted about 8 of them.
Yeah, 8.
See if I can get in here a little closer. Yeah. Now, this pink land right here, I was looking at this, and I was thinking about the story of the Iron Republic. You just listened to it the other day, and I also listened to the whole thing the other day as well. Yeah. In that story, which is in the 1800s, the late 1800s, I forget the guy's name, but he left from New York, right here, and sailed down around South America, which took him quite a long time. If he would have just left South America, he would have been there a lot quicker. But it would seem that he sailed down around South America, along the wall here, and through this passage, most likely, this closest passage here, which seems to lead to a landmass that's either right here, and then there's another one right here. And it's called the Iron Republic. I just find it interesting that on this map, there's this pinkish color here. Because it could just mean, like, not that it's pink, but it's iron. It's clay looking, maybe like the Grand Canyon-ish kind of color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reddish the Iron color. Republic, or maybe it's all brick. Who knows? But yeah, we talk about the Iron Republic. This is the name of the story. You guys can read the audio, listen to the audiobook. It's a really good listen to. And that this would seem to be one of the only parts of the land masses here that are this color. And this would put it right around the Iron Republic area. So I'm just kind of connecting those dots. Whether it's actually that color for that reason, I don't know.
Just today, Jen, I found another one that from the late 1800s story, and you can listen to the audio book too. And this one is 8 hour long.
Oh, wow.
And it talks about the same kind of voyage.
Is it the same guy or a different guy?
No, it's a different guy. One.
Oh, wow. Did he go also to the Iron Republic?
I didn't listen to the. I
Okay.
just listened to the intro.
Okay, so in the Iron Republic, when he gets there, he realizes as he's pulling up to this landmass that there's no noise. He can't hear any clickety clacks of horseshoes on cobblestone streets. You know, the hustle and bustle busyness of the 1800s, because they didn't have electricity, so things were a lot more manual back then. But he pulls up and he sees a very well lit city with no noise. He makes note of that there's no noise, like it's silent. Yeah. And he comes to realize quickly that the people on this continent here in this particular city, the Iron Republic, are well more advanced than the people of the late 1800s. They seem to have a lot of things that we have today, including a type of internet, a type of Ethernet, you might say, where and clearly wireless telephones. They could call people, pick up something, put it to their head, and magically talk to somebody far off in a distance. Cars that have no noise. Clearly, they're running on electric. They weren't using gas or motor cars or anything like that.
Yeah, and they could play the music that they want directly in their home.
Yes, exactly. Like kind of like an Alexa or something. They say, play this, and boom, it plays. Whatever you requested and stuff. However, they were living in harmony with their land, with each other, and with their technology as well. And the government was complete opposite of what governs us today. And they're not based on greed or selfishness or competition. So they have all that eliminated out of their society. And now this voyage, whether it's true or not, it's very detailed. I mean, it's detailed beyond belief as far as I'm concerned. If you really pay attention to the political stuff that he talks about and everything, the way the government's set up, they even have a type of Amazon thing where the packages get delivered right to your house from something that flies up and dumps the packages off to you. I'm listening to this whole thing and I'm like, dude, that's Amazon. So anyway, this is the late 1800s, yet these people that he encounters are clearly as at least, or if not more advanced than we are right now.
And they all know about our place. They know all about where we live.
Yes, they know about us, but we don't know about them. So why would that be, right? And how is it that they're so more advanced than us? Clearly, there was a great war that took place in and around the possible reset that took place. And maybe that's an actual prelude or byproduct of this.
But that would be a great reason to make a treaty, an Antarctic treaty, for nobody to go there,
Exactly. Well, the guy asks him in that Iron Republic, he asks the one guy who's showing him around and everything, he's like, so your country never known war? Because, everything's so perfect there. Everybody gets along. And he's like, oh, no, we've known war. There was a great war. And I think he doesn't get into a lot of detail, but he said it was the greatest war that man's ever seen and ever will see and stuff. And that clicked for me because I started thinking about these giant ships that we've just come across recently. You've known about them for a while, but how did they fit into the puzzle? Well, we know there was giants here in our realm. Within our circle of life here. Okay, there's definitely was giants, but now there's us. There was us and giants, and now there's just us. There was a great war. There was great ships, okay, that was being used during this great war. And now there's a treaty, because you have a treaty after you have war. All right, so what I'm thinking he gets down there in the late 1800s. They're not expecting anybody. They know about us because we're in their archives, but nobody has shown up there in a very long time. Now, typically you have about 5 generations within a 100-year span. Every 20 years, you say five generations. Say if 200 years had gone by maybe even 300 before this guy shows up in the 1800s, right? Say the war in the pole shift or whatever happened, the reset happened in the 1500s or 500. He shows up at 885 or something like that. So they're not expecting anybody. They haven't seen anybody in 300 years because everything was all muffed up and destroyed here, right?
Yep.
Maybe they don't know. People kind of come out and started working their way back through society.
Yeah.
They still don't have electricity, though. Oh, they're not going to bother us. And suddenly people start showing up, right?
Yes.
People start going through. So there was an interruption in our growth as far as society and technology goes, but there clearly wasn't no interruption in theirs. Maybe they won. Maybe they just figured, well, we're just going to leave it alone in there and let them do their thing, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing out here, you know? Now, there's a story in World War II that the Germans had escaped and Hitler had escaped to South America. And from there, they got on a sub and they headed for the Antarctic wall. Now, why would you do that if it's just an ice wall and you can't go anywhere? Well, clearly they knew there wasn't an ice wall and they could get somewhere. And apparently, when they got there, they said that they had encountered some friends.
I found the article, Jen. Well,
okay, well, let's bring that up. You're going to do a screen share right now. We'll get right into that because this all fits together with the story that we're laying out for everybody here, or at least trying to piece together, guys.
You see it?
Oh, hold on. Let me stop my screen share and come over to yours. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
You see it?
Yeah, it's coming up now. It's up. There we go. Okay, so you'll have to read through this and if you can a little bit or whatever it says.
You want me to read?
Just a little. If you got kids, I can't see it. It's too small on my end. Did the U.S. Navy battle UFOs protecting Nazi Antarctic?
In 1947.
Okay. So now check this out, guys. If they are 100 to 200 years more advanced than we are, so the 1800s, this guy shows up down there and then not much happens. And then all of a sudden around World War I, World War II, we have these steel-hulled ships and stuff and everything, and we start going down there. So the people that they battled with these supposed, aircraft and stuff, these Foo Fighters or whatever they're called, it wasn't the Nazis. It was the people on the other side.
I've got two of them too. Which one? Oh, this one I found too.
Okay, great.
It's a video documentary about the U.S. Navy to the secret land.
We're gonna have to play that. Can you put the
I didn't even watch it. I just found it while we were talking.
How long is this one?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. So there's a lot of interesting things going on with Germany. They're around the North Pole. they're around the land barrier around us.
This is the one that I was just talking about. The other story that's 8 hours long.
Oh, okay.
The goddess of After Tabar. That's what it's called.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna definitely listen to that one.
And it was done in the, doesn't say here, but what I found, 1800 something.
So what I'm thinking is, if the Mandela effect is showing us where the lies lie, right?
Yep.
Now, if something's true to its nature, it's not going to change. And the only reason I say that is because there are things in our reality that are not changing. The only reason that could possibly be for me, just for me, I don't know about you or anybody else, but for me, is because it's true to its nature. If it's not true to its nature, it's going to change. And Germany has been one of the shiftiest things in this whole Mandela effect from top to bottom.
Yeah.
It could possibly be that we're being lied to about Germany in his story. And this is why it's shifting.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, guys. I'm trying to figure it all out. But Germany is smack in the middle of the Mandela effect. And Germany is all over flat Earth. Yeah. All over flat Earth.
Yes.
And so we were talking
Germans for almost everything that happened. So
yeah, and then of course after World War II, they just kind of like slink back into obscurity, and everybody's just kind of like, you know, it's something you learn in history class, and then you move on. You know what I mean? So it just seems like it was designed that way to be inserted into his story, and for us to have a certain perception of Germany at that time, in that era, to see them a certain way, when actually there's a whole other story afoot here. And it has to do with hiding the existence of where we're at and what we're on. So after World War I, we supposedly take all German scientists, the best ones, and bring them over and start the NASA space project. And of course, there's all kinds of Mandela effects with all that, with Werner von Braun and his name, and of course his tombstone with Psalms, whatever the thing is there, talks about the handiwork of the firmament, God's handiwork. Again, linking Germany to flat Earth, and of course the Mandela effect as well.
From there, all our schooling came, like all the programming from Walt Disney and other German from that era, and von Braun and all these.
So there was a conscious effort at that point to make sure that everybody bought space 100%.
Yes.
I mean, before that, of course, they were already pushing the globe, but it appears that up until a certain point, and it possibly that late 1800 period, they were still teaching people that the Earth was flat to a certain extent. There is people who remember getting taught it in school, and also I have to say, in the Republic, in the Iron Republic story, where the guy who traveled to their beyond, you know, that opening and went to that country, he was having a conversation with somebody who else was there and found their way there from America. And he was talking about how the opening worked. And then he started talking about the stars. And this guy mentioned the firmament 4 times in their conversation. So they knew that there was a firmament back then in late 1800s. And it seemed to be common knowledge in the conversation. It was no surprise or anything like that.
Nope.
So these people come out from the landmass, from the opening, with their spaceships, which is the outer space, not the outer space, the outer space, right? With their discs, hand this Navy their asses and send them limping back to America. They blame it on the Germans because they see swastikas and whatever, these iron crosses and stuff. The Iron Republic, the Iron Cross. Do you see? I'm telling you, it's not what they're telling us. His story is a big fat fucking lie. We've been taught it hook, line, and sinker. There's lots of truths in there, but if you don't know how to put those truths together and connect the dots and they leave one big chunk out, you'll never figure it out.
Never.
So they blame it on the Germans. Well, we'll just blame it on the Germans. The Germans had these Foo Fighters. The Germans are in league with people from other planets and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is at that point, once that they had that encounter, that altercation in 47 with the Navy, they put the barrier up.
Yeah.
And that there was a treaty that was signed that nobody goes down there without explicit express permission from whoever's on the other side of that lattice fence you showed us in that picture.
Yes.
Looking in at us saying, come too close. Right? So now the barrier, let's discuss that. We don't know exactly what's going on with our total system that we're in here. Okay. I feel upon this new theory of mine that there is a firmament, but the firmament only comes down so far to certain points around the plane. Now, I can't prove this. I'm speculating, but it does talk about the pillars of the dome. I think maybe Enoch talks about the pillars of the earth and stuff. I see the dome myself as being dome-like and then set on like 6 pillars maybe going around. But there's those openings, right? Because you can still go through. Even though the firmament comes down, I think at the next point, it comes back up and goes out again. Maybe. I could be wrong, right? But it seems that the outer landmass part and whatever's beyond that have stars as well too, and things going on out there. So the dome isn't just for us. It would have to be kind of bubble and then bubble out again. Maybe I'm just trying to figure this out. What I'm thinking is that the treaty was made because, they got their asses handed to them. They're like, look, we're way more advanced than you. Don't fucking come down here fucking with us because we'll expose all this shit. And they're like, no, we don't want it. We don't want anybody to know, right? So they probably told them, do what you got to do. Keep your people out of here, right?
Yeah.
We're putting up these barriers, these invisible
electromagnetic barriers.
Electromagnetic barriers that are clear. You can't see it. Now, in one of the expeditions to the South Pole, Admiral Byrd's planes encountered a barrier around 2,000 miles in.
Yeah, he lost some of their planes. Yeah, they crashed in it.
And it's so funny because if you watch the show Under the Dome, they show a plane, a little biplane flying along, and then smashes right into this invisible thing, right? It's so funny. It's like they're telling you. But that dome that was put around that city in the show Under the Dome was an alien technology.
Yeah.
It was not.
It's physical, You can touch it, but
as if it was a technology.
Yeah.
Like, put there too advanced for us to figure out. We would think it's supernatural. Let's put it that way, because we don't know what they have, right? So we would look at it that way, kind of like old people from way back in the day would look at our cell phones as some kind of magical thing, right? So I'm just picking apart these little truths that we see in Tell Lies to Your Vision and stuff. So I'm thinking that there's a barrier, but it's in proportion to where the dome comes down. Now, one of the Britannica America or something like that, it talks about the dimensions of the dome and how a barrier was encountered at 13,000 feet. So if the dome only comes down so far and their barrier is up to kind of, compensate for that gap that would be there. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems that way. If they're that technologically advanced, they would be able to put up a barrier. I know I would. I wouldn't want these fuckers down there or out there. You know what I mean? And
the pillars, like you said, they could be like I said before the show, the technology that Tesla reinvented that would stop any missiles from coming in and just stop them like anything that is what is it called?
It's like an anti-missile thing or something.
Yeah. It stops anything that is metal or kind of I can't find a word.
Like mechanical or anything like that.
Yeah, not physical, but synthetic material, everything that is not pure and it cannot go through. Like I said, and you mentioned that the only way we can go through it is to be naked.
Yes.
Like in Terminator, when you said that, it's yes.
Yes. Now Terminator, they were time traveling. I get that, or whatever you want to say it, but they had to go through it naked with no clothes on. When you look at this map, you see a lot of people naked on the other side of the land masses. I'm just saying, and they all seem to have blonde, curly hair. But oh, this is so fascinating. It really is. They haven't dropped any other bombs since Hiroshima and Nagasaki, since that warning had come out. If you've noticed, they haven't really nuked anybody except for that recent one in, where was it? Lebanon or something, where that building got dustified by that.
The one 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's like almost 2 years ago now. The Rod of God or whatever they were calling that thing. I mean, I don't know what that was, but I mean, that could have been them. Who knows? It's been like, hey, here's a warning shot.
just could have been a Tomahawk missiles. They do the same kind of damage.
But still, it's not nuclear. And not that maybe a nuclear, maybe I'm using the wrong word, atomic. Let's put it this way, smashing atoms, atomic bomb. Yes. Because that has a reverberation that would, imagine if you have a pool of water, right? And that's your plane of existence, and you put a little drop a stone in the center and you got all those ripples coming out, and it'll constantly do that. It'll follow it until something interrupts that perfect flow of ripples. Boom, baby. And then it's like, it's like, hey, wait a minute. Somebody just fucking rattled our whole world here. And they're coming up like, hello, don't be dropping your fucking bombs. It's like, we're the neighbors upstairs who are making too much noise. You know, they're about to come through the ceiling.
But maybe it wasn't even the Nagasaki ones. You know, they have tried to blow up like those tests. You know, the Operation Dominique and Fishbowl just before before they tried to.
That was in the 50s.
It was in the 50s.
Yes, so that would be after. That would be after the 47 encounter. Barriers go up. They can't get out that way, right? So what are they thinking? They're like, well, maybe we can go up and go out.
Yeah. So
what's up there? Right?
They tried something else.
But then they couldn't get through that way neither. It's like, you know, you can't get through that way. Isn't it interesting how the rockets go up and then curve over?
Oh, no.
Go up and over.
Have you seen those steadfast rockets that hit the barrier? They do hit the barrier. You can hear and you see it. Some kind of it's a gas barrier, I think, like sulfur hexafluoride that is super dense. That there is the same kind of barrier under the sea too.
Right. And you know what? In the show Under the Dome, they found out that dome that surrounded their town that they got stuck under went underground, and because they tried to go way down into the tunnel systems and tried to get out like from underneath, and they found out no, it goes down too.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So here we are back at the map. And all around this wall of land are these faces, and these seem to be the rulers of the lands at this particular time in the late 1500s. And I think that this is where the treaty happened and stuff. Now, what happened in the interior here that melted everything and fried everything is anybody's guess. It could possibly be something to do with a pole shift, meaning Polaris shifting poles with the inner sun of whatever that thing is, and the grid system frying that way due a byproduct of that happening. It would make sense that cathedrals worked out pretty well for this. Maybe they knew that this, like China builds earthquake-proof buildings, so you know it could withstand a 7-8 Richter scale. Maybe they were building the cathedrals to withstand the pole shift to come out the other side, because really you don't see too many melted down cathedrals. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying a prelude to this event, like the days and months and maybe even years leading up to this particular event, maybe something happened and where there was wars and rumors of wars. And maybe there was a great war like that was spoken of. It would seem that greed and selfishness seemed to take over on this inner continent here, in the inner continents of our realm. And there was some type of a great war that took place, and then also this event as well. I could be completely wrong, but when we start.
When you talk, it said that not much cathedrals have been hit. You know that these cathedrals had all these organs, and they were emitting some kind of frequency from them, and maybe this frequency canceled the other one, and that's why they were protected. Some kind of same kind of field around them.
Yeah. Yep. I do not know, but it's very interesting. I mean, we'll probably never know, but it's interesting to try to figure it out anyway. I'd like to point out that this particular landmass right here is white. This could be iced over. I don't know why they would have a couple of these iced over, because it just reminds me of ice right here as well. Maybe that's why it looks that way. And then I thought there was one other one, maybe section over here. Hold on. Let me click off of this real quick.
maybe with our sun it's ice, but when the other one takes its place, it's gonna be fire. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but okay, so let's look over here real quick. So here you have India. This is India right here, I think, right? And then I think Australia is right in here somewhere. Am I wrong about this? Where are we right
the
here?
big one below.
This one right here. Or this
No,
one.
the big, yeah, the big.
Maybe this is Australia.
Yeah. Because the further from the center you go, the bigger the continent become.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Because I did a map with the real size of the continent that they gave us, and the continent below the equator are much bigger than the ones in the middle.
Wow.
Really much bigger.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. This could be Australia right here. We just don't know.
No.
And look, they talk about the Aurora Australis. The Aurora Australis.
Yeah.
Why would they call it that? Because Australia's there.
Yeah.
So you have the Aurora Borealis in the center and the Aurora Australis on the outside.
Yeah. So it's gonna be their two light source. That's what it means. Because the Aurora Borealis, it's like what they say is the reflection on the ice. Probably not true.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Look at South America here. How it looks like it's actually touching that landmass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on it. It's right fucking there.
Yeah, it was probably touching at one point. And there's the land that is touching that part. It's called Isla del Fuego, you know?
Oh, yes.
Fire.
Is this where Deception Island is too, or is that over off of Africa? There's a Deception Island. Maybe that's where the whole deception started.
Yeah. It's not in Antarctica, this Deception Island?
Africa would be over here.
Okay, and oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's off the coast of Africa or South America, Deception Island. I forget which one it is. Let me see here. There was something else I wanted to point out. Oh, okay. So you're saying all this right here. Look, it would make sense if this is Australia, that this would be the Philippines and the islands and stuff all right here.
Yeah, Borneo, Philippines, and it has to be because there's no Australia.
Oh, look, dude. You know what? You're right, because at the end of Australia is Tasmania, and Tasmania looks just like this right here. Just like this, with that separation between Australia and Tasmania right there.
Yeah.
And what's this? New Zealand? What's this? I don't know.
I don't know.
That could be New Zealand right there. I'm just saying. This is so good.
There's a big flock of ships right there.
Yes, they have armadas of ships going all the way around this thing. And there is one strange thing here that I don't know what it is. It's this thing right here. I'm going to try to get a better picture of it.
You didn't have the giant map. No, this one.
There's one here as well on this map. Maybe it's the same one as we were just looking at. What is this? What is that? I don't know. Looks techie to me. I don't know.
I can't really make out what it is.
Yeah, I can't really make it out neither, but it's something and it's big, whatever it is. Let's go back over here real quick. Yeah, see, there's a really, really close there. Anyway, that's the long version of the map, and that's it around the globe there. Put up around the globe. But let me go back up here a little bit.
Yeah, we put it, but they put it the last one, so they put the flatter map first.
Yeah. And then they show how they put it around a ball.
Yeah.
It's right in one of these pictures here, that anomaly we were just looking at. Here it is. I can try to get a close-up good one. Maybe we can make out what the hell this thing is, because it's really bizarre looking. It's the most bizarre looking thing on the whole map, I think. And also calling it Antarctica. I always thought like Antarctica, like Tartary, Tardis, Tartica, Antarctica.
Yeah, and ant means what does it means again? Like before
adjacent.
or something like that.
Like before or adjacent to or something like
Yeah.
that. Oh shoot, am I on the right one? Yeah. Okay, good. Here we go. Let me bring this in. Oh, what is this? Oh, they're ships. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. This thing is very touchy. Let me move over. Let me move it with my mouse. Now they're ships.
They're Spanish, they say. Spanish ships.
Wow. This is so cool. Yep. So there's a whole armada of ships right here. So the Spain or Portugal that had the red cross on it? I think it was Portugal, actually.
Yeah, but it was written like España. So maybe it's Spain.
Let me see if I could scroll up on this a little without moving it too much. Hold on. Bring it down a little. Yeah, I see it. It says Hata del Indi per España. Right? No?
Yep.
No bueno?
The only word I can make out is España. Should be Spain.
All right. Well, that mystery solved. All right. So let's expand on our theory here. I'm going to come back over to this screen share, I think. Let me see what I got lined up here for us. If anything will work for me. Okay. Just letting you know, I tried mirroring your... Huh. Jeremy, it seems Jeremy got a strike on something that we were talking about. I don't know what happened there. Was that my last show, Jeremy? I don't know. I don't have any strikes. But YouTube's shifted with that.
You put it on Facebook, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to look at some giant ships here, guys. If I can get my stuff to work here. This is some China stuff, but I have other stuff on China that's going to blow your mind, and Japan with their giant ships. All right, so
crazy.
Shapu, does this look like a Hulk to you, or does this look like...
it looks bigger than a Hulk.
Who's rowing this thing? Are you kidding me? Who's pushing them long rowers out there?
They probably had a machine in that if they build this.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is a massive ship right here. And it seems to have something on the back here that's jutting out. That's interesting too, like an exhaust of some sort, dare I say.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, there could be extra oars for somebody. I don't know. All right, let's go to this next picture. Oh, is it going to work? Okay. All right. Yeah, you sent me this one. This one's very Egyptian looking. I'm assuming this would be like Egyptian. It's actually got columns on it. I know it's a rendering, but this may actually have been how these people rolled back in the day. Looks like it's got some tech on top there.
Yeah.
Again, they always show these type of oars that are propelling these things. But it could just be not people. There's not hundreds and 2,000 people down there rowing while the elite are up here just living it up. It could very be some kind of a mechanism that is running on free energy.
Yes. Because they were good with gears and mechanical stuff.
This is a type of Chinese or Japanese, like Hulk ships, like we're talking about. These are warships, and the Hulks were actually originally giant wooden warships going back into the 1700s. And we're going to look at some of those in a little bit. but they're set up just
they
like these
always
things.
show
And these
us,
things are very,
these ships are made for war. That's what I
yeah.
found interesting, because come on, how long does it take to build one ship, and you're gonna go and make it
Your
destroyed?
freaking war's going to be over by the time you build your ship.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wait, we're ready. Shit, where'd they go? Looks to me like an arc. And it's interesting that all across our plane, every culture seems to have an arc story. But yet there was only one arc. Or was there? Because these look like arcs. I'm just saying, they look like arcs to me.
Yeah, when you mentioned they just look like arcs, it was wow. Yes, and they have like hundreds of them.
And why would everybody have a story of an arc, one arc? Yeah. It would make sense if there was many arcs and animals and people were being moved around, transported to different locations or safe zones during the supposed pole shift reset. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's another rendition of Egyptian style, just luxury palace boats.
Wow.
Just wow. Yeah. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 stories practically. With a little bit of laundry hanging here. Yeah. See, that's right there.
Just like prison ships.
Yeah. These supposed prison ships. I love this. I got some really cool pictures to show you on that stuff coming up. And we're going through your pictures as well.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is going to change for me. I'm clicking it. Okay, here's the Greeks. Now, we've been taught about the Greeks and their ships and their navy and all that. But, I mean, just look at this thing. This thing has brick on it. Do you see the brick? looks like brick to me. I'm just saying. Clearly some type of a whitewash on the top part of the brick. They got like 1 million people rowing this thing, I guess. Oh, I accidentally went to the next picture by accident. Let me go back. Now I know these are, renditions and stuff. And hold on, let me back this up a little.
They were inspired by texts and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work for me now all of a sudden. Okay. Do you see all these oars? I mean, you would literally have to have 2,000 people down here, 1,000 on each side rowing this stuff, okay? Getting you through the seas. Who's feeding 1,000 people? Where are they all doing their business at? Oh, well, they were chained to their oars, right? Free men. Yeah. They were free men oaring because Greece were free, right? Okay, right. Whatever. Tell yourself, where are they putting all the food at? And we got 2,000 men down here. Then you probably have another 2,000 men up here, soldiers, and then you're trekking across the Aegean Sea and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they say they weren't so many people back then.
Yeah.
So
they would have had to take everybody from the whole country
on one ship
just to row this one boat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's another one, just to give you an example of these different renditions. But these are massive ships. Guys. Look, this thing's got trees growing on it, for Christ's sake. It's massive. Got statues, turret things right here. Oh, well, come on, Jen. It's just a video game. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, they got the whole building right here. But we're going to get into some real pictures, guys. Actual real pictures of these types of ships. Black and white photos. And your minds are going to be blown. All right, so this is a rendition. Of course, it's clearly an etching. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah. Just a little bit of ketchup on the side. Okay, so this is one of those ancient ships. Shapu, you want to tell people what's going on here with this thing?
It's crazy. There's some towers everywhere. But I've showed you with the statue on top of the big mast. He's got a big ball in his hands, just like a how do you call it, the Tesla Tower.
Well, this
So-
thing that he's standing on in the center here, this column is the DJed,
Yeah.
I would assume, because
Yeah,
when you
it's a
look at the
DJed,
DJed,
probably,
that is set up just like a DJed column.
yeah, probably
Secondly-
taking the energy from the ether and
powering
sending
the
it
ship.
to those towers there.
These towers are like pagodas. You
Yeah.
could tell. And the Tesla towers, the old ones that he would make back in the day, had windows as well. The pagodas look just like the Tesla towers. These look just like pagodas. This is tech on this ship.
Yeah,
And
no,
this is
these
a massive
these
ship.
towers. The towers are the one that gather the energy and project it towards the middle. That's probably what.
Also,
powers
it's got
it.
these things sticking out of the back of it again, almost looking like jets of some sort. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what they are, but they're pointy and they're look like they're ejecting something. Maybe I don't know. I could be wrong, but definitely
they probably will tell you that these spikes are for ramming other boats.
right. Yeah, that's probably what they would say.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's go over here real quick. All right, so here's a color.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the one you sent me. Now, this is a color version of what we just looked at, where you can really, really see the tech, guys. And yes, that statue on top has some type of a ball on it. And we've already seen the balls and the spires on top of all these conical roofs. Why wouldn't they have this? And why wouldn't they make it look glorious? Because they can, right?
Yeah.
But it's still tech. It's not just a statue with some guy holding a ball. It's actually functional. Just like these towers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 towers. And then you have your 4 right here with your center tower, even with the little dome here. It's absolutely incredible.
Crazy.
Really good picture, Shapu. All right, let's go to the next one. I feel bad Jeremy got a strike. I don't know why, I guess.
Yeah, he
Maybe
didn't say
mention-
on which video.
The one that we were on last time, me, you, and Steve.
Oh, really?
I think we mentioned something because we were on Rockfin. We might have said something for a minute,
Yeah.
but I didn't get a strike on it yet. So,
Well,
okay. Why don't you tell us?
mentioned what's going on this time.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. So why don't you tell me about this picture? You sent me this the other day. Where did you find this at?
I found this on a blog about inner Earth. These are the beings that live inside the Earth, and it looks like Dogman. And when I saw it, I had to send it to you.
It does look like Dogman, dude. That's the first thing I saw. At first, I thought it was a reptilian or something. I looked at it closer. I'm like, oh, that's dog. That's Dogman.
Yeah. And they say these are they live inside the Earth,
Quite possible.
and they
Quite
look
possible.
civilized.
Yep, they wear clothes. We did
Just-
learn that when I studied Cenocephali,
Yeah,
and they talk about how
the
definitely a
depiction
dog.
of Saint Christopher. That's
Yes. Saint Christopher, yep. And they changed the depiction of him after the 1800s.
yeah, not a dog
I think-
anymore.
Yeah, their excuse for that was that God forgave him of his evil ways and turned him into a man. Whatever, I don't know. Now, you sent me this.
Yeah, I found this this movie. I didn't watch it yet, but it's from the 70s.
Oh, the invasion of the inner earth people. Yes, they really want us to think whatever's going on inner earth, they're not good people. Maybe they are good people.
Like, probably
They also want us to
not.
think that there's evil demons down in Antarctica that the
Yeah.
elite are meeting with, right? That's
Yeah.
probably not the case at all.
No, the demons can only act through us.
Okay, tell me about this picture here. This is interesting.
Last time you mentioned that you didn't know if Philadelphia had a Great Fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I found these ones in the 1850, they say.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know. Nope.
There was a big explosion, they say, of an ammo depot, and it destroyed around 500 house, killed people, and burned Philadelphia. Like
It probably was the Germans. They probably did it.
probably.
I'll have to look into it to see if it was.
There's so many stories about Germans and boats exploding.
The Germans are the reason for dazzle camouflage. That Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Gee, wow. What do I say about this picture? I just don't even know.
These are Russian boats.
Russia, guys. Do you see this massive ship right here? Okay.
Don't even know what's the use for them.
I know, right?
And
this had to be no sails. That's right. There is no sails on this thing. There's houses and there's tech, but there's no sails. All right, guys. Here's one from 1895. This is the U.S. Fairgate Constitution. So what they're saying is that these ships were used during the war, different types of wars and attacks, all this fake historical narrative stuff. These port windows here on the side were not for cannons originally and all this bullshit like that. They're actually windows. This thing was built this way. It's not a later addition or anything. When you look up the history to these things, they always have a bullshit narrative that, oh yeah, they were used in war. They were big warships, but then, now they were hulked. And we put them on the side of banks of rivers and stuff and put prisoners in them.
Put prisoners in them. They had these big buildings and in big prisons, but they had to put people in these boats.
I feel like these things, I never even heard of them before. The fact that they look like Noah's Ark really creeps me out. It makes me question a lot of things.
When you mentioned that, it blew me away because I didn't think about it before.
All right, let's go to the next one here. Take a look at this sucker. Here's another one.
Yep.
These are not masks for this is technology standing up here on this houseboat. Noah's Ark was 500 feet long. Some of these hulks are close to 300 cubits. Just I am. I looked them up and I looked their dimensions up. And if you look up 300 cubits, it's like 500 feet.
And if they say that these were stationary, why did you put those masks there? You didn't need
exactly. No, the story is they're decommissioned. They're decommissioned. But I have pictures, and I think we'll get to them here somewhere in here, where you see people, and these are military people getting off these ships, and they're already covered with roofs and stuff. So they had to have come there on that ship and got off of it because it's clearly a picture of them getting off of it while docked there. So these are not maybe they did use them at some point to put prisoners on. I don't know, but that was not their original intention. I feel like these are giant ships, possibly, that were put to survive the pole shift or reset, whatever took place in this realm that had a part in destroying everything. That there was survivors and they were able to. Maybe they knew with this pole shift there was going to be a flood. The waters that are coming in and out and in and out. They say the water came from below.
Yeah. They had these airships and these giant ships.
Yep.
So
these ships may have even been able to fly.
Possibly. If you put a giant balloon on it.
Yeah. You never know. Could have some kind of tech.
Because these airships are huge.
Look at this one. It's got a fucking Acropolis on it here with lawns and gardens and temples and everything.
Just like in Italy. Again.
Exactly. Bella Island.
Yep.
The island is the ship.
Maybe that's what. Maybe the island is the ship.
Exactly. That's crazy, and it's all lined with gold. Of course, you would have to have gold.
Yeah.
Because this is a piece of technology, not some ancient ship.
No.
Okay, so this is another one of the maybe Japanese. I think this one is. Yes.
Yeah.
They say these are warships. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Japan is so big that they need to fight each other.
Yeah, and they make these massive ships, right? Yeah. They want us to think that these are warships, but maybe they were actually survival ships from whatever happened with the war. Maybe there were giants that were operating these ships.
The story with the Japanese is so fucked up because, like, we found that the Japanese only in the night, like 15 or 1600, the first time we saw them. So,
right,
the story is so wrong.
A lot of hidden stuff there.
And I have old maps that the island of Japan is so big compared to now. Oh, look, they're drying their clothes.
That's right. What else are you going to do on a ship, right? You're going to dry your clothes.
It looks like, there's a steam chimney. So it was a steamboat.
Yes, I see it. And then you have these massive chains, right? Because there's a front of a boat that we're going to look at coming up here. And when you see the chains that come out of these boats for the time era that they're telling us and stuff, it just rings giant to me. The giants would have had to handle these chains and stuff. Again, I would like to point out, these are windows. These are not ports for cannons, and they're not cells either. Nope. Because when you see the other pictures we're going to look at, you could see that these are windows, not bars. All right, let's continue. All right, here's a good example. Let me scroll in here. We have 3 of these ships here. Here's one right here, one here, and then one down here.
What it said on below the picture, they say these are the ancient ships for troops. Yeah, marine troops.
Oh, it says ancient?
Yeah, ancient.
Oh, it does say ancient right there. Look at that.
Used for troops, marine troops.
Wow. I did not know it said ancient right there. Do you see these ports, guys? See these ports right here? These are not for cannons. Nope. These are windows for people.
Yeah.
Very large people, probably.
Look at the first one, the A-frame on the bottom. It looks like the first one, first boat.
Okay, right here.
See, like the front right there. You see that in mountains everywhere. These A-frames, holes and doors.
Oh, yeah. You know, these people here on this ship, this guy's sitting on the railing. This guy's got his leg over the, they're chilling. They don't look like prisoners. They don't look like they're having a bad day. Like all these horror stories that you can read about on these prison ships that they've put out there to make you think that that's what they were for. The more horrific the story and the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it.
Yes.
Eat that shit up. Look at this thing. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? That's Noah's Ark. Come on. Wow. Look at that tech right there. What do they need all this for right here? What's that? What's this? No. What? And then there's one back here.
They could have put a Ferris wheel on top and made a amusement park.
They sure could have. They could have put a Ferris wheel on it and just puttered the way right down. Just keep the wheels spinning and just go. Oh. Okay, guys, here we go. This is the other side of it.
Yeah.
Look at that tech right there. Do you see this? This is not a flagpole. This is what you see on top of conical roofs all day long.
Yeah, I got one that they're loaded with wood to bring some wood, but how do they move these ships? That's what bothers me. I want to know how they move these ships.
Exactly. Let's get to this next one here. Okay, I've seen this one before. This one's in China, I believe. This is a boat made of stone, or was turned to stone. I don't know which, but yeah.
Obviously,
the old
steam ship.
Wow,
Yeah.
just wow. I mean, this thing. This looks like a real picture. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've got another one that, yeah, it's a real picture. And
When that ship comes up on Olaf, when that ship in the northern part comes up on Olaf and his son in that story, The Smoky God,
yes,
this is what I imagined that they were on.
Yes,
This is what they were on. That shit's gold up there, just like St. Basil's. As a matter of fact, that looks like a mini St. Basil's right there. What's that doing on a fucking boat? Because it's tech. Clearly. And this is in the water, guys. This is not one that's part of a World's Fair or anything like that. That one again. Go further.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know if it's docked or I guess it's docked. It's rough seas right there. That's crazy looking. That's just,
Crazy.
It's like 2 football fields. How did they get that thing in the water? What the fuck?
I don't know.
All right, what's going on here? All right, let's talk about this. What's going on here?
Yeah. This one's on a platform, but you know.
Yeah, and it has the domes and the columns like we saw on that other one. It's got an obelisk with its tech on top. Brick. Clearly, there's brick behind those columns. Holy crap. Really just cleared up now. It looks good.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you read any of this stuff? Look at that.
It's temp.
I can't.
No, I think it's Greek. I don't know any Greek.
Really cool. All right, now this next one's one of my favorite ones. I got to change over to the next one here. It's kind of lagging on me. There it is. Boom, baby. Yeah. I mean, you remember the building in Indonesia or wherever where the tech turned on top of it? And that symphony was playing? It looks like that building, except it's on a boat.
I think it's in the same city. It's in Myanmar.
I would not be surprised. Oh, look at that beautiful tech right there. Look at that.
And they say it's a restaurant now.
It's in Myanmar?
Yeah.
It's all gold. Wow. Yeah, it's a restaurant now. What was it before? Look, there's even tech on the back end of it. Look. Let's go up here. Look at it. It looks like it's lit up too. The sun glistening off it, but man, that shit looks lit. Dude, this place before must have been so insane. Could you imagine seeing this kind of shit rolling around?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So since there's no giants around anymore, you don't need the giant ships. I think that this is what they did with these boats. They turned them into these supposed prison ships, they'd like to tell us, or whatever, or at least gave us that historical narrative for it as an excuse of why they're even around and why they have been documented in any kind of way. All right, so here we're looking at St. Elmo's fire. Do you want to explain a little bit about the St. Elmo's fire and what they think it is, or the mystery behind it?
Yeah, but well, they say it's an atmospheric effect. But this picture probably in a storm, all the top of the masts are lit up, and you can see that it's ether that did these kind of
effects on it. It's like a blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, I have something up right here.
Yeah.
I have this site. Can you see this? Okay.
Yep.
So what we're looking at here on the top of these ships was most likely some type of metal at the end of them, covering the wood at the top of the mast.
Yeah.
That was meant to collect energy for that ship. And they try to tell us it's some kind of mystery and all this stuff. But look, they're showing it right here on these buildings here. And we already know what these cathedrals are for. That's showing us that they're doing their job right there. And I think this is what we're seeing over here on these ships as well. That the ends of the masts have probably had some type of bronze or copper over top of them.
Yeah.
At the very end. And that when they're moving through, and maybe when it is some type of a high surge of energy in that area, they're going to get, I don't know what happened here. Why did we go back to the first picture? Let me see if I can start these over again on the back end here. Let's see what happened.
I think you went back again in your pictures, all your pictures. Like it happens.
Maybe. Here we go. We're here. We're good. I got it. All right. So, yeah, this is what we're looking at here. And then if I scroll down this site here a little bit, come back over. I didn't realize they were right next to each other. I think they have another picture to show us down here, don't they? So the meteorological occurrence where pointed, tall objects in the atmosphere like church towers and ship masts create an electrical discharge. That would only happen if metal was involved. That means at the very tips of these masts, they had to have some type of metal on it. It's not just going to happen with wood. And that blue plasma is just like in the mercury arc valves that have that blue plasma in there.
Yep. Look at this.
I don't think there's anything. I don't know if they have any other pictures down here, but let's go back over here to the pictures. So let's see here. And of course, they're going to give a narrative for the excuse of this type of stuff. It was documented in different places and that they maybe couldn't scrub and have to put a narrative to it.
Yeah.
Well, let's say it's this, but we'll leave out the part where there's actually tech on the end of these things. Look at this thing.
Just the name of it. Just the name of the effect. They gave it to a saint. Because it was holy.
I mean, you would think that this plasma would affect the shipping somehow, but if this is a directed, if this is technology and this energy is being directed for some reason to help power this boat in some way, or the objects that are within the boat, the utilities that they might use in the boat, like lights and stuff.
Probably the utilities, yeah.
I mean, if you think about travel on a boat and what they tell us it must have been like in the 1700s, they didn't have any, like, it was very rough and rustic, okay? No provision. They had provisions, but it was very, not easy to get by on long journeys. Well, if you have all your provisions and all this electricity that's running all your stuff, it could be a pretty easy trip if you think of it.
Having a real fire on a moving boat that's swaying, it's really dangerous.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Now, here is another example of this supposed St. Elmo's fire, but we know this is the tech on top of this building, this cathedral right here, that's collecting the energy, and it's being driven down through the conical roof. It's set up just like a pagoda, just like a Tesla tower.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we got next. Oh, yeah, this one here. Just look at that. It probably lit up the whole area around them for when they're sailing at night and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's what they use for when there's no moon or
no
light.
I mean, they just want us to think that these guys are floating around at night just staring at this. What if it's cloudy? You know what I mean?
When it's cloudy, you don't move
Well,
at
then wake
all.
up the next day. Where are we? I don't know. Yeah, they had to have had instruments and ways to. If they could do what they did with their buildings, their ships had shit too. And apparently, during a storm, you still have your St. Elmo's fire there. Help you see your way through the storm. Oh, look at this one.
Yeah. Can see it.
Wow.
I don't think it. And the planes, did you ever see the ones that forms in front of planes when they fly? You can search
Hold on. No, I haven't seen that effect. You'll have to bring something up on that if you can find it. That would be great.
Yes, I think I've seen a
Are you
couple
still there?
of videos. Yeah.
All right, cool. No, there was just a little glitch. I thought I might have lost you there for a second, but we're good.
I thought I lost you.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, here's another one with the St. Elmo's fire up top. You can see that it's on some type of technology here. It's not just shooting off of the top of this thing. It's like shooting out of it almost. Very interesting. All right, what else we got here? Let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah, okay, we just saw this one. Okay, so guys, we've been looking at these ships. Now we're going to take a look at Noah's Ark. Okay, because Noah's Ark looks just like these ships that we've been looking at. And like I was saying before, there seems to be a story of Noah's Ark. Every culture around the world seems to have one of these Ark stories. But yet they tell us there was only one Ark. Was there only one Ark, or were there many Arks? And were these Arks moving people and animals around to different locations? Were they really used for war? Well, I don't buy their bullshit stories. So if it wasn't for war, it had to be for saving lives, not killing lives. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, if there's more than one, then people will ask too much questions. So
exactly, they'll ask too many questions, right? So the only thing they say that gives the Noah's Ark story validity is that there are so many stories about it around the world that it must have happened, and it happened the way they say it happened. But, we know that they give us half-truths, and the Bible has shifted a lot. So we have to, if we could take away from the Mandela effect, that it shows us where the lies lie, because if it was true to its nature in all forms and fashion, it would not change. I'm not saying the Bible is 100 complete a lie. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it has been manipulated. Things have been left out of it. Things have been added to it. And the thing is shifted from first page to the very last page. I swear to you on my grandmother's grave, you can open that Bible up. It doesn't matter which one, and go to the very first page and find Mandela effects all over it, and go to the very last page of the Bible and find Mandela effects all over it, and all in between too. So why is that happening? We cannot discount or disclude that from our theory that we're forming on what this Mandela effect is showing us, because we're clearly seeing it. So we're seeing it happen, but what is it actually showing us? And for me, it's showing me where the lies lie to some extent or another.
Yes, exactly.
Could the Noah story be a lie? Not in a lie in a sense that it didn't happen, but in a lie in a sense that it didn't happen the way they say it happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it takes a truth and twists it and turns it into a lie. So if God wanted to show us that, okay, well, you got the story, but you didn't get the whole story or the right story, what would he do? Maybe he would shift it to show us, like, hey, look, this was, the hand of man has manipulated this. And now,
Yeah, but you need truth in every story to keep it alive so long.
Exactly.
If there's no truth in the story, people will just throw it away. So
exactly. So there's got to be a reason why the Mandela effect is affecting the Bible. We see it affect all these other things, and what can we conclude from that? And now some of them, I don't know what to conclude. Some of them are baffling to me. Like the body changes and stuff, our organs shifting around and all this stuff, or rainbow trees popping up out of nowhere. I don't know. But for a lot of it, it seems to be pointed towards things that were never true to their nature to begin with. Before the Mandela effect had ever happened, I had heard stories about the Bible being manipulated by man in many different ways. And then along comes the Mandela effect, and it's like shifting all over the place, all of them. Doesn't matter which version you have.
Yeah.
Could the Germans be involved? I don't know.
Like you said, the lies.
Yep. Okay, so here's some modern day versions of the Ark. People have made replicas of Noah's Ark. Look very much like those Greek boats that we saw with all the 2,000 paddles along the side. That kind of reminds me of it. And it also looks very much like the Hulk's prison ships.
Yeah, same shape, same house on top.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying, these are exactly the same. I'm just connecting some dots here and I'm being as honest as I could be to the instincts that I have. And I've honed my instincts and discernment over these last 5 years immensely. So when I get an intuitive feeling, as soon as I see something, when I'm on a topic, instantly, I thought Noah's Ark when I started seeing these Hulk ships and stuff. Because, I'll be damned if that's not the way they look. They even got the cover over the top of them here and stuff that look like a house roof.
Yeah. Well, they had to have the inspiration from somewhere. Mm-hmm. So if nobody have ever seen Noah's Ark, well, they have seen some other kind of ship that is as big.
300 cubits, that's around 500 feet. And these other ships, now, if Noah's Ark accommodated animals as well, it probably would be this big. Maybe the other ships were more for people than animals, but some of these ships are extremely large and some of them are, large, but not as large as this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to that picture there. Let me get over to these other ones. I have a few more coming up here, I think. Let me go over here to this one. Okay, so here we're in Japan. We're going to look at some of the Japan ships. There's that one. I think we already saw that one. Okay, good. Let me go to this one over here. Okay, the hulks, ships that afloat but not seagoing.
Not
Okay,
seagoing.
so that's what they want you to believe. Well, then once they got hulked, they weren't seagoing anymore. But they were seagoing at one time because they say that they used these great wooden ships during sea battles and stuff, but now they're retired and then they hulk them, which means they supposedly make them into prison ships.
Yeah.
Again, look at the massive chains coming out of this boat. Massive ports here. This picture of this one right here is from the 1800s. These are not windows for cannons. They're just windows, guys. They're just windows.
Looks like these chains were added because those two big holes looks like they add bigger chains.
Yeah, you're right. Up top here, these really big ones right here. Yeah. Okay, here's 4 of them in a row. Again, I'd like to point out these are windows. They're not for cannons. They all have roofs on them, just like the Ark that we just looked at, Noah's Ark. And here they are out here as well with their roofs on them. 1848, guys. I feel like these are left over. They're left over after the event took place and people were able to get back onto land. They docked these ships and people got off.
Yeah.
I even have a picture of people getting off of one of them, not getting on, but getting off. So it's not a prison ship. Let me go over here to this one real quick.
You know, again,
One that
they don't need these big prison ship if they got these thousands of rooms building empty.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And guess what? Hold on a second. I forgot I was going to say there for a second. Okay, so this one here's the USS Vermont Hulk, 1898. Now, it already was supposedly retired and stuff like that, but look at this, guys. First off, this is a really good picture, okay? Really, really good picture. Very clear. I'm surprised how good this picture is for the year it was supposedly taken. I'm just saying.
I will come back in 1 minute, Jen.
Yes, no problem. Full-on house up here. And I got to say, it kind of looks modern. It's very strange how modern it looks for the time era. All right, now where was that other one I wanted to show you guys? Let me go over here. That one. That one. Okay. All right, so let me go back over here to my Facebook. I got a picture I got to show you. I can get this stuff to work. How many people we have here now? 47 people. Cool. Jeremy, I'm so bad you got to. I feel so bad you got a strike. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've had any strikes yet or not. If I'm your first one, I feel really bad. All right, let me see if I can get this to go back to my Facebook page here. It's something I wanted to show you guys. All right, let's see here. It's iffy if anything's going to work on my end. It really is. Still working on it. Hold on. Nothing wants to work for me. Wonderful. All right, I'll reload. We'll go back over here to this picture while we're waiting for Facebook to reload. I don't know if anything's going to work for me now.
Sorry, I'm back. What? You have a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get my Facebook to load because I have a picture that I was looking at earlier that I wanted us to look at. But I don't know if I'll get my stuff to work. This one picture I had.
Well, I can show
I
something
might have to just.
while you search.
Yeah, why don't you come up with the screen share, and then I'll come back and get my stuff ready on the back end because I got to close out some tabs in order for my stuff to work.
Okay. First, I'll show you the St. Elmo's fire from a plane.
Okay, let me get this up here.
I didn't put the sound, so I think it's this one. It's just a plane taking off, and I think it's around this point. Yeah, you will see that look.
Oh yeah.
An arc in front of the plane, and you can see that there's a lot.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, just the plane moving through the air, the ether.
Right.
This. Yeah, and you can go on YouTube, and there's plenty of pilots that are filming this effect.
Okay, I am going to take a picture or send you the picture in a minute to bring up for me that we're going to go over here in a second after we look at your stuff because I can't get it to work on my end. So let's see if I can find it.
I can show some other big boats.
Yeah, absolutely. You might even have this picture in there. It's
that's what you wanted to show?
You know my thumbnail for the video that we're on right now. I used the thumbnail of the ships with a bunch of soldiers out front of it.
Oh yes, I got it.
You have that one?
Yes.
Because that's the one I'm trying to bring up. I want to go over that because that picture proves what we're saying. That these things never had sails on them. Like they're lying about the fact that these things were desailed and docked there.
This one.
Yeah, there we go. Let's zoom in on that, and let's pay close attention to these soldiers out front. These Navy guys. If you look closely, they're all walking away from the ship. They've gotten off of it, and they're walking away from the ship. Okay.
Look, they're
still coming off the ship. Yeah. So if you scroll up to the top, you can see there's no masts on the ship. There's no sails, right? There's no masts. How did this thing get to where it is and dock to let all of these fucking people off? Are they just arriving? You know what I mean? Clearly, this thing is able to sail with no sails.
Clearly, they're not prisoners either.
And they're not prisoners as well. Exactly. So what's going on here, guys?
But the first one, they said it was to house Marines.
To house Marines.
Yeah. For what? I really don't know. Huh? So then looks like they could have sails, but they don't.
They don't. That's right.
Look, that's what I was telling you. These are the supposed convicts that were on these boats, you know?
Well, they could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be anybody. That's right. And there's not enough to fill the boat. Yeah, which one I wanted to show you?
First off, why would they all be on that boat if it's sitting there doing nothing? You know what I mean? And then they're supposed to be learning how to work a ship. Well, that ship's not even in working order. Why would you take a bunch of Navy guys on a ship that's docked to teach them about it's ridiculous. And they don't even use these ships. You would teach your Navy about ships that they're going to use, not ones that are prisons.
Nope, I don't get a prison ship.
Yeah, that one looks like an ark a lot.
Yeah, and they're drying their clothes again.
Look at that thing. Wow. Is that one on fire?
No, looks like they're making it.
Huh. And then you got to ask yourself, how did they launch these massive boats and stuff in 17, whatever the freak?
No idea. Look like the one you showed, this one.
Oh, yeah.
But it's too different. So
can you zoom in on that one?
Yes. I can zoom.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole temple city up there and stuff.
Yeah. And this one, like the one you showed. Is again another type, but this one with sails. You know, they're not as big. These are big, really big, but the other one are huge.
And those sails aren't even that big, though. They're kind of small sails for a large boat like that.
Yeah, but they probably have a bigger one here. No. Again, another one, but no sails.
No sails, just flags, right? And that one, the double-headed eagle there in the front.
Yeah, this.
That's
the one I was told you about, this big load of wood. But if they don't move, no sails, how do you bring that wood?
Right, exactly.
Just look, you can see on top of this one, their houses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's that one that we saw earlier, I think, that in China or something.
This one?
Yeah.
Or this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the top of it, it's just a platform. It's like a small city. I don't know how many they have of these ships.
It's just crazy. Look at this thing. Come on, guys. What? That's not a prison ship. What do they use that thing for?
Beat me? I don't know. Look, this one. Kind of mix of the two.
I never saw that one before. Zoom in on that one.
It's the mix of the Greek one
that
and
one
the
looks
Russian one.
Right. Yeah, that's really cool looking.
And again, how do they move? I
That's
think they were
question.
pulled by a motorboat.
They're barges.
Yeah. Another one of this.
No sails.
No sails. These one have sails, but
wouldn't that be great? Now look, they say Noah's Ark was on Mount Ararat, is where it wound up at after the flood, right?
Yeah.
But what if these things were able to just get to where they had to go and unloaded people in different locations, and then boom, they just don't need the things anymore. They're too big and too whatever. They have no practical purpose in the everyday life of seafaring stuff. It was meant to take people to where a massive amount of people to get to where they had to go. Look at this thing.
That's probably what they did with them. Because there's not so many left. I think there's only one in the US, and they turn it into a restaurant like this one.
A restaurant with some awesome tech on top.
Yeah.
That's like a pontoon boat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly in the same type. So that's a real boat. Look how big it is.
Wow. Wow. And ornate. My gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know how much wood you need? And how much rope? And how much?
You need a whole forest.
And all this is covered with pine oil.
Yeah,
Pine tar.
to water seal it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the ropes too are made with it. It's just crazy the amount of work it needs to be done on these boats. And they said they had armadas, and an armada means 1,000. So
Yeah, they would have had to have. Oh, look at this! Come on, talk about a houseboat right here, and it's got tech on top.
Yeah, this is a house that they moved. That's what we do today, you know.
And what did they use to plop this house down on this barge? How did that happen? Now we get to see this end result of it already sitting here. And what's this pole sticking out of the top of it?
Yeah, another old house, old tech house. It's crazy. And this one, I think this
is incredible.
The one you showed, the same boat,
yes,
but a different place. It's not supposed to move.
Different location.
Yeah, different location. These are just steamboats, but with sails.
Huh.
They have two. Look, that's another restaurant.
Wow. Oh my gosh. You know what? I just thought of something, dude. There's a fucking restaurant like this in Philly at the at Penn's Landing. I've been on it. It's called the Mushulu. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh yeah, good. Look it up. Yeah, because I know they have turned one into a restaurant. And look at these rings. And I showed the cannon, the ale cannons. Someone sent me a video that they shoot these rings.
Hold on, let me come over here and look at what you got.
I know. I'll just wait.
Oh God. All right, go ahead. Now, what's going on here?
You see these rings up in the air?
Yes.
But someone.
Yeah, what is that?
Someone just the post I did with the ale cannons.
Oh yeah, we got to look at those next. We're going into the ale cannons next. Yes.
Someone sent me a video that a guy made a cannon and he's shooting these type of rings from these cannons into the air.
They now? Do you remember the stories a while ago of people seeing black rings in the sky, smoke rings, and nobody knew what they were? Like circles of black ring of smoke. I remember. That's just. I don't know if it connects or not.
No, I don't remember. Now I think they're just destroying big ships. You know these ships, the Chinese junk. They called it junk. But look, they are destroying it.
Yeah, they called it junk.
Yeah, look, they're saying destroying the Chinese.
They're scuttling the ship.
Yeah, they're hiding the evidence.
Wow, yeah, they are.
And now you can see the difference between.
Look at how massive that is. That's the average ship, and that's the fucking thing right there behind it. That's nuts.
The junk. Yeah, that's so funny.
They got their junk. It's Baroque. It's Baroque junk.
Yeah, it's Baroque and junk. Again, a rendition of a prison ship with clothes hanging on. I don't know.
Yeah, this is crazy how they don't have sails, but they got plenty of clothes hanging all over the place. And they make sure that you know that there's clothes hanging for sure.
Yeah, because every one of them have some. Is the one you showed?
Yeah, zoom in a little if you can, and we can. Yeah, every one of them has it. Any one of them, zoom in on it. But like you were saying, everyone has the clothes hanging on it. That just reminds me of like a voyage that people have taken for a long time, and they got to hang their clothes out.
Exactly. These are not that big though. Cannot zoom that much. This renditions of stationery. Look here.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 of them, and it said Ireland Island in the Bermuda. Look at this building.
That's strange.
3 of them.
That looks like Bella Island, dude. That looks like Bella Island right there where those ships are docked.
Yeah, it's in
Remember
Bermuda.
Oh, wow. That's crazy how much it looks like Bella Island.
Yeah, look at this. All made up.
Yeah.
It looks like
That's not an island. That's a building.
That's the building. And the date, 1848.
I can't see. Oh, 1848.
Yeah. That's a modern.
Wow, look how long that thing is. That now this one here. Okay, so stay on this picture for a second. This looks a lot like the Mushulu boat. That's a restaurant now in Philly. It's a long one like this and kind of low, and it looks just like that.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah, I have it. Now this one here is interesting. If you go back to that one there, they're launching one of these. It looks like they're launching it. And look at the technology. This is like 17 something, whatever, these things are being depicted. I mean, that looks like a pretty modern building there and stuff.
Yeah. The date here, it's 1839.
1839. So late 1700s, early 1800s.
There's no sales. So how they're just gonna let it there in front of the hangar?
And then somebody's going to jump on board and stick the sails up.
Yeah.
They're already on there, like ready to go. Let's get these sails up, guys.
Yeah. This is the one that you just showed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This one.
And that one there, that really reminds me of Noah's Ark right there.
All closed up.
Yep.
With skylight.
Look, if there was 40 days and nights of rain, you're going to have a fucking cover on your ship. You know what I'm saying? And they all have it. They all have it. Noah's Ark has it. They all have the fucking roof.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. 2 of them.
Yep. Now let's zoom in on that one. Is that all clothes hanging on it in between those 2 poles? Is that supposed to be all clothes?
It's like flags or something. I don't think they're closed.
Some type of material.
Yeah. But this one does.
Yes, it does. I mean, that's nuts. Look at it. That's Noah's Ark all day long. Just put a giraffe out there on one of them ends and you'll have Noah's Ark.
Yeah. They put the Tina on the goddess of war.
Of course, right? Well, that's what they tell us the goddess of war is. It could be something completely different.
Look, the porthole that I was saying. These are chains. Not the small one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna show you, look, how miserable they were inside of these ships. The convicts going into these ships. But it's all the depictions. And when you see the real pictures, you don't see any of this.
That one picture you had, it was a rendition where there was like 12 of them lined up, remember?
Yes.
Like, what do you need 12 of these things for? You know, why don't you just burn them and get rid of them in the water or whatever? Why were they, you know?
This one has a lot of them.
I think they needed them. They needed them to move people around, to take people to different locations and start populating other areas. Maybe they used these things during the reset. They knew the waters were going to rise. Everything would be covered over. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Seems like they were pretty prepared.
The Jersey prison ship, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the year. 1782, this one.
Yes, 1782. That were from the late 1700s.
Yep.
And that's putting it right around the reset, guys. These are reset
Yep.
ships. These are
Which one? Where is it? Oh, this one.
yes, this one. I mean, there's a whole armada there. Fucking Noah's Arks with cities on them, for Christ's sake. Look at all these buildings.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in on this? Because that one ship going in between the line of ships is a large ship right there, that white one. That one. That's a
Yes.
large ship right there. And then look at the size of these motherfuckers.
Yep.
That's some next level shipping right there.
Looks like they're ready to be shipped.
Exactly, dude. They look like they're heading out, not heading in.
Yeah. These ships are crazy.
You're right. Melted reality. If they say it's the goddess of war, just what's the opposite of that? Whatever they tell you it is, it's the complete and utter polar opposite. This one here is my favorite. This one here for me is like Noah's Ark all day long, for sure.
Yeah. And this one, I think it looks like Poseidon. So
Yeah, can we
Not a-
zoom in on this one? I'm going to try and zoom in on it.
yeah,
Look
the
at it. Just
picture is
look at it.
blurry.
That's massive, guys.
And you can see there's no bars. They're windows.
Yep, they're all windows all the way through. These were prison ships. They would not have fucking little... I'd go right out that window, jump in the water, and swim to shore. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And they say people were sick and they had trouble with prisoners dying everywhere. That's the story.
Yeah, so why would you even want to, have some kind of nasty ass prison ship sitting there with all this disease and rats and stuff? But see, the more horrific they make it sound, the more people buy the lie. Why would they say that if it wasn't true? Look at what's happening today. Yep, there they are.
Look at this.
And they all have their thing to get on and off the ship there, just like you would for Noah's Ark, When you see the pictures of Noah's Ark, he's got a ramp leading up to it to load all his shit on.
Yep. Other one here.
Wow.
And not this one. Another.
Oh, this one here. Let's zoom in on this. This one reminds me, if you ever seen the movie Waterworld, where they're all on that tanker, they live on that Exxon Valdez tanker in Waterworld. This looks like that fucking tanker. And this is like some fucking late 17, early 1800 stuff.
Yeah. That's probably like a steam chimney. Again.
Mm-hmm.
Got lots of the same one. I didn't.
So
They say.
let's take that one's weird. It looks like it had repair work or some kind of stuff on the side of it there,
Yeah, I don't know what
like as if to shore it up or stabilize it or something. Maybe it was like they knew it could bump up against stuff or whatever, and they reinforced it in certain areas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. Oh, and that one's cool. It's like ran aground or something.
Yeah, looks like they just found it.
Right. Look, we're here. Let's go. We're home.
Look at this
Everybody
guy.
off.
What is this ship?
Oh my gosh.
Probably was in water, and the water has receded.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. It just ran aground and stayed there. The
Yeah.
waters receded.
And we seen this one too. Chinese junk.
Yeah, that thing's fucking massive. So you have a new thing that you came upon. Was it today? You were talking about these cannons. I've never even heard of these things before. Why don't we jump into those? Because I feel like this is some old world techie weaponry, maybe.
Yes.
I have 35 people here. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Anybody wants to donate to my channel, the links are pinned in the chat. All donations are greatly appreciated. All right.
Diesel cannons.
All right. So, yeah, explain what we got going on here with these things. Because I think I've seen these before in etchings of Giovanni Battista, and I couldn't figure out what the hell they were.
Yeah, they say these cannons are used to repel hailstorms to not destroy the crops. But if
really,
there's no crops around, you know.
And apparently, whatever it did must have worked, because why would they make so many of them if it doesn't work in its functionality? You wouldn't make more of them. Whether it's for that or not, I don't know. But clearly, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's an exposition for them, you know.
That's crazy. So they're trying to say if you shoot something at the storm or a frequency or something.
Yeah, that's a modern one.
Huh?
And I will show you a guy that made it. The guy, one of the subscribers sent me a video. It's a news footage. And
that's the one. That's the one I saw right there, and I could not figure out what the fuck this was, but I was like, holy crap, look at this shit.
These are not hail cannons.
They're not hail cannons, no.
No. Military.
They're some kind of frequency cannons. They look like sound cannons.
These are sound cannons for sure.
Yeah, all day long.
Because some say, oh, they work for the early radar. They hear. No, I have some pictures of these, and these are not the same at all. These are for frequency.
Right.
Yeah.
Look we just saw that lady. We just saw that lady singing into that horn and made that water shoot up hundreds of feet with just a frequency of her voice. Imagine what this thing can do.
Yeah. Look this one. They're not shooting at hail at all. They're like destroying things. They're like shooting at.
This reminds me of the fasheye, because there was a guy I watched a while ago who made his own fasheye, and he was able to shoot shit with it and blow shit up with it.
Here, well, we'll see the first video that the guy just testing a vortex cannon that he made. We don't have the sound because we don't need. Look, it's the same technology. And he's gonna move it around so we don't get.
Oh, I saw that, dude.
The ring?
Oh, yeah, because you know why? Because it broke the sound barrier. That's why. Wow.
That's just a flimsy one.
What's the mechanism that shoots the sound out? What is it doing? Do you know? Wow.
No, I didn't look at the workings of it, but I will.
That's exactly what you see when a jet breaks the sound barrier right there, guys. This is why when you shoot a gun, it's so fucking loud, because unless you get subsonic munitions, you're going to have a really loud bang when you shoot your guns.
Yeah. And I think that cannons were probably used this way instead of shooting something.
Balls out of it. Yeah. They love their balls.
Yeah. And one subscriber send me a video that the cannon is ringing like a bell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is so fascinating. This is all pre-X Factor technology, guys. This is probably the type of stuff that they used in their wars. Now, we have sound cannons today that they use. They used them in the Iraq War. They're more than willing to use them on us because they've supplied all of our police departments with these sound cannons after the Iraq War was over. They just sold all this stuff right back to us.
Where did I see it? I thought it was here.
It's okay. Take your time. I see Juan Torres is here. He's a little late. You're going to have to rewind. You missed a lot of stuff. We've been on for quite some time, 3 hours now. This is just so fascinating. Now, does it say in here who had these weapons? Is it, dare I say, the Germans? Who was it?
They look like Germans.
They sure did, didn't they? I mean, the Germans, they got stuff left over in their country.
Yeah. So that's the one, the cannons.
Oh, wow. Look at that. But what are they shooting at in the sky? It doesn't show anything. And this is before airplanes. So what are they shooting at?
Beats
I
me.
mean, that's very interesting. That they don't show anything they're shooting at. It's just that they're shooting them. What could that be for? Is it to, unless they're using it for atmospheric reasons or weather related reasons?
Yeah. I can't find it. Where is it? There's this one, but it's just some guy throws a basketball in it. And the basketball just shoots out, but
like as if it was a cannon.
Yeah, like it was a cannon, but it's not the one I want to show. It's the news.
So they had these cannons afterwards, right? After the reset, people found these fucking cannons, didn't know how they worked, and fucking put fuses and stuck balls in them and shot stuff out of them that way. That would be like somebody who's never seen a car before coming up and starting a campfire inside the car because they think the car is some type of shelter or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then burning the car down.
Where did it?
I mean, there's got to be something up there for them to shoot at if they're pointing them up.
Yeah, they're pointing at the sky, so I don't know what they could be shooting at. Disperse the no. I can't think of anything right now.
All right, it's just bizarre.
Oh, well, I'll have to get back to you for this one because
oh, that's no problem. All right, I'm gonna show the Mishulu real quick. If we'll come off your screen share for a moment, and I'll come in here and do my screen share real quick. If it'll let me. I don't know if anything's gonna work for me at this point, but we'll try. All right, so. I don't know if you guys can see this.
It was right here. My
God. We'll come back to it in just a moment. So this is the Mushulu. It's in Penn's Landing in Philly. If you live in Philly and you drive on 95, you will drive right past this thing every time. And they've turned it into a restaurant. Now, granted, this is not a Hulk ship. But it's this is very large, this ship. It's not small, that's for sure.
Looks like the one that had the St. Elmo's fire on it.
It does, kind of, yes, it does. And yes, again, just, like we were saying, they turn these things into restaurants and stuff. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did to this thing.
They like to repurpose stuff.
Yeah, I've been on this ship before. Long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away that doesn't exist. Anyway, yeah, it's got supposedly all its original decking and everything like that. And then they have weddings here and stuff. Yeah, it's called the Moshulu.
And what Moshulu means?
Ship. I don't know what Moshulu means. Do you?
No.
I never looked it up.
No.
Somebody can look it up. There it is there. If you want to spell it.
Wow.
Again, these windows I think were here.
Wow.
I don't think they were ever meant for cannons. I just think these are windows. Like, you know, they want you to think, oh, look at the faces on these chairs. That's creepy. It looks like that face in that thing that's above the center of the earth.
It's
on the map.
That
weird face.
Yeah, a Moshulu is a type of chip.
Okay, well, that's what it is, a Moshulu.
Yeah.
All right, so back to your screen share. I'm going to come off here. I wanted to get
the meaning of Moshulu mean smooth stones.
What is it?
Smooth stones.
Smoked stones?
Smooth.
That's weird.
Like something.
I know I could smoke and get stoned, but I don't know about this smoke stone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy. Yeah, I can share the video that I want to show you.
Yes.
I this one we can probably play the sound. So it's 1 minute 47 video. So
okay. Oops.
We'll probably play it all.
Just are you putting the sound with it too?
Yep. Ready?
Yep.
Tell me when you see it.
We got it.
All right. I'll put this on.
A small town in New Jersey is literally left shaking. Calls flooded 911.
I just heard a really loud bang, like it shook the entire house.
It's almost blowing our houses off the foundation. It just sounds like it's a bomb dropped from a plane.
It sounds like a sonic boom, but where is it coming from? And what the heck is it?
It is like, what the hell was that? We came to the conclusion somebody was shooting a cannon out here.
But now the mystery in the quaint town of Hamilton, New Jersey has been solved. This homemade hail cannon is the culprit. Rob Bukowski constructed it in his garage. It's supposed to scare away birds from his crop of grapes. He also says the loud sound can change weather, stopping crop-damaging hail.
It shoots a ring of air, and it creates a ripple in the atmosphere to stop rain from forming into hail, so it stops the damaged crops.
What do you think about, people who this is scaring them or disturbing them?
You should come over and check it out and see what it's about.
Bukowski says he is within his rights to use the cannon and will keep doing so. But as a concession to his neighbors, he now gives them this warning signal. While we were there, the police paid a visit, but then moved on. Neighbors are relieved that this case of unsolved mysteries is solved at last.
You know what's strange, Shapu, is that a couple of years back, we had something like that happen here to where it was such a loud bang that I thought, and so did my husband, that something crashed into the roof of our house. But yet everybody felt the whole house was like, boom. It was like insane. It could have been one of these things. I really don't know. Nobody ever figured out what it was. And people have reported this in numerous places, at least around our country anyway.
Yeah. And it sounds like it's a loud bang.
Yeah. It's not even just a loud bang. It's like house shaking bang. Like literally, I would have thought, and I knew it was different than, say, the sound barrier thing. I have experience jets that go over, or what they say is a space shuttle, right, coming back in our atmosphere. But I know what a sonic boom is. This was on a different level. It was lower. It wasn't so above. It was more like ground level. And a lot of people had thought that it was something that came from underground, but this thing is sitting on the ground. It's not going to just reverberate up that way. It's going to reverberate on the ground level itself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy. Well, we've been on for a little over 3 hours. I think we covered a lot of ground, and I would love to have you back on again to further this discussion, and of course to bring out many more truths and things that we discover between now and the next show, because I'm sure we'll discover more stuff. We always do.
Yeah, I had other stuff to show, like some people that never seen, like when I first started looking into these hollow earth theory, like we started at the first. There's a lot of pictures of some holes in the poles, and even if you just search satellite pictures of the poles, there's always these holes that they can't render anything, no image at the center, and they're holes.
This is why none of us are allowed to go to the center, to go to the North Pole, because we'll find this anomaly of some sort.
Yeah.
Now, if you have that ready, we can show it now. If you already have it up. Yeah, we could definitely get into that, and then after that, we'll get out of here.
1 minute.
Melted Reality says, Mishulu means one who fears nothing. 1917, that ship was supposedly seized in World War I by us. That's what Google says.
Nope.
All right. Well, there you go. That sounds interesting. I didn't know it was a captured ship.
Yeah, they say it was from Portugal, something like that. Thanks, Mark.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Okay.
All right, we got the screen share here. I'm going to let you in. Hold on. Let me get this off the screen.
So for those who are not never heard of this theory that is really old, this is what they first showed, the first photograph of the pole. And you can see that they cannot render anything. And now these satellite images or eye-up plane images, they cannot render the center.
Right, yep.
There's always these holes right there. What is it? Probably the opening, or the, you know how electromagnetic works? The electromagnetic field of the torus field, and it all comes out from this place.
From that center point, yep.
From the center point, yeah. You can see that the rendering always have some kind of hole.
Now, if you take our plane, right, because they're showing a globe here, of course, but if you flatten it down, you have a flat disc with a hole in the center above the disc and below the disc.
Yep.
Wow, that's really cool.
You see, they cannot render. Sometimes they blur it out. I think I have one that they tried to blur it out, but you can see it's different color. Is it this one? And on maps, always see the longitude lines. They never go. They always tell right there.
Yep.
And that's something that first got my eye.
Yeah, of course, now they just tell us there's nothing there at all. It's just water.
Yeah. You see, they show you the current, but look, they cannot render the middle part.
Uh-huh.
Because there probably is nothing.
Wow.
It's an opening, but these are, look, they always show that the ball and the satellite, and that's what they supposedly show. But
Right, yeah.
if it's true or not, that's for people to.
Yeah, but you see how they try to hold on to their ball Earth? There's like, oh yeah, okay, it's a ball. There's openings, but it's still on a ball though. You know?
Yeah, it's always on a ball. And this is like the Indian representation, because and you know the book, the new book that I show, the Queen of Advadbar. Look, it's a place inside, like Shambhala, and
oh right,
it's called Advatabar. It's another. See again. But it's been around for quite some time. These, this, it's the 1800s. It was made in 18 something. Just taught for people to look at and go study. Look, 1878. They all were were already talking about it.
Oh yeah.
And they even made monuments, you know, for the guy theory. And the guy,
I just wanted to say thank you real quick to Isabella. I just saw that other ship that you were saying, Captain John's ship here, that they turned into a restaurant as well. Thank you.
Another one.
Yeah, it's not quite as big as what we're looking at, but it's just another example of these ships that they dock and turn into restaurants and decommission.
You know, and to further make it true, that the guy just signed his life to declare that the earth is hollow and habitable within. You know. This,
I gotcha. Like a proclamation.
John Cleves Smimes is the first one that bring this theory to the world.
Oh, that's so weird, because that ship that's docked as a restaurant is called Captain John's.
What?
Yeah, Captain John's.
Oh, yeah. That's and the Dawn Man. That was. I think that's what I wanted to show people that never heard of this theory. You know, even on the old maps, they can't render anything. You see the middle, Groenland, America, Tartaria, and the swirl. Yeah. And,
wow.
That's the original. What the first people thought what it was made from. Like they showed the flying saucers coming out. Just crazy. And the Nazis, that proves that they were inside.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to show.
Wow. You know what? I wanted to show on here too. If I can get it to come up on my end. Let me see if I can find it here. I wanted to look at America real quick on this map. If I can get the section that shows America up here, where there's all these cities and stuff. I have to scroll down through here. Okay, so this is 15. When's this map from again? 1585. And here's part of America right here. Let me go into a screen share. 1585. And Columbus discovered America supposedly in 1492, right? Now that's just discovered it. That doesn't mean he clear-cutted any trees and built any towns, right?
Yep.
So this is Florida and Cuba right here. So let's see what we see here. Over here along the Gulf, coming up through what looks like Texas. Texas already has a shit ton of cities in it.
Oh, yeah.
All these red dots are cities, and they look like they're pretty built out looking cities.
Yeah.
All along here, along Mississippi, Louisiana. Not so much through Alabama and Georgia yet. There's one city over there. Let's see what's up over here. We have a city here. One over here, a pretty big one. Nuremberg, it looks like. Nuremberg or something. There's one up here. Sistal or something. Sissel.
Yeah. But
Nuremberg is what that looks like. That says, isn't Nuremberg German or something?
No.
Just saying. It's German, I think.
Yeah.
And then up here you have a bunch of cities as well. So let's see here. So you got Florida right here. And then as you're going up the United States, not too many cities there. But then you get up here. Largo de Arcadia.
Arcadia, it's like Nova Scotia now.
Yeah, and you got big cities over here. These are big ones.
Yeah, and this part's it's not on maps anymore.
Interesting. All right, now let me see if I can find the other part to America here. Hold on. Okay, so I'm not sure what part this is here. Hold on, let me see here. This is Eastern United States, Florida, Cuba. That's what we just looked at. So this here is Northern Siberia and Central Asia, right?
Mm.
Now look at this. Isn't this strange? Look at these teepees they have here. Don't they look like Indian teepees? I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
They look like Indian teepees. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe the Mongolians or somebody had teepees like this or whatever. I'm just saying it looks like some Indian stuff.
They have cities. Yeah.
Yeah, there's cities everywhere and strange creatures.
Yeah, the devil and an hybrid of something.
Yeah, that's not looking too good. It's a desert to develop. I don't know what that means.
No.
Oh, and look, there's a unicorn over here. Check this out.
Oh,
See this
yeah.
unicorn?
It's Alicorno.
Alicorno. Huh. Very interesting.
But I have
What do we have
like
here?
an old etching book of hunting, and they were hunting some unicorns.
So this is, were they really hunting unicorns?
Yeah.
This is southern Argentina, guys. Where did the Germans escape to? Argentina, southern Chile, right here. And this right here, this pink thing running along here is that Antarctic pink republic there. Yeah, look at how close they are, guys. Look at this map. I mean, geez, that's like fucking Sicily and Italy right there. They could probably spit and hit somebody across the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Terra del Fuego.
Yeah.
That's that fire thing. You remember we were looking at the center thing and it had the ring of fire around it, and this says Terra del Fuego.
Yes, that's where the name came from, I guess.
What are these two guys doing? Why are they naked looking like they're getting ready to hug each other?
The giants.
I'm not sure. Yeah, something's going on there.
Yeah, Regione de Gigante.
Oh, it's like some giant love.
Yeah.
Look, this guy over here is like, wait for me.
Yeah,
I'm coming
you're
over
too
too.
small.
Give me a hug. But you're naked. I don't want to hug you if you're naked.
They're ready to go. Oh, there's smaller people.
Yeah, smaller people here.
Yeah.
Giant bird. No. Okay. Cities everywhere here. Look at all these cities.
Chile, Chile. Look how old it is. It was still there. But now the coastline, it's where it is that mountain line. You see that mountain lines? The coastline of Chile it's there now. There's a lot of land that disappeared.
Oh, you know what I want to look at? I want to look at Africa because that eye of the Sahara.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if that's on the African part here. Let me scroll down a little bit more. See if we can get to Africa. Where the heck is it? What these guys? Where's Africa at? I might have to scroll back up the page to get to it. I think I do. All right. We're going to head back up this way. See if I can find Africa. That's South America.
Japan. You see, that's the Japanese island. Look how big it was.
This one?
No, below this one.
Oh, you mean this here?
Yeah. Giappone Isola is Japan.
Oh, wow.
Look how big it is.
Look at all the fucking cities.
Yeah.
Every red dot is a city, guys.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big one right there.
Yeah. Nabunanga.
Nabunanga. Wow.
We'll have to compare.
They even got cities up in these mountains and stuff. They're just everywhere. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'd say Japan had their shit together. Wow. All right. So we got to find Africa. Is this Africa?
It says Northern Europe. And
Central Africa.
Central Africa.
Want north. It's northwestern side, so we have to go over more, I think. All right, hold on. Let me see here. So this is Africa right here, and this is where it would be if it was on this map, and I can make it out. The eye of the Sahara should be somewhere like maybe right around here.
Yeah.
Or over this way a little.
I think it's close. Close the coast.
These look like little lakes here. These circles, they look like water. And here's this river that's running all the way across here that we were talking about on one of my shows.
Yeah.
With that flat fellow, when we were talking about the eye of the Sahara, we talked about this river that ran completely across Africa. And it was just here, like maybe this blue circle right here is it.
Yeah.
I got to get a better picture of that.
Yeah, you'll have to click on the big one.
Yeah, I have to find that one. Let me go back down here a little. We'll find it. All right. This one. Where's this one at? Venezuela.
Yeah, South America.
There's the Del Fuego thing.
Antarctica.
Or Del Fuego.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not. Look, though, clearly it is not on fire, right? Or you wouldn't have trees and birds. Why are they calling it Terra del Fuego? I'm thinking it looks like the Grand Canyon. Because if you look at the Grand Canyon, it's red looking.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? It's got that reddish, run out reddish look. That's probably what this is. All right, let's see what we can get going here if this stuff will load for me. Hold on a second. I'm get this thing to roll. I don't think it's going to roll for me. Alrighty then. It doesn't want to work. All right. Well, there it goes. It's catching up to itself, I think. All right. Just give me a second here. We'll go down a little bit further and see if I can find this. And then I'm going to get ready to go. Just so much to look at with this map. I was just so excited when you sent it to me. I was like, yes. All right. Maybe this is it right here, this one, or well, that's California. It might be this one here. What do you think? You think it might be this one for Africa?
Maybe. I'm looking.
Or this one, maybe.
No, this looks like America, Mexico. Yeah, it could be this one.
I'm going to click on this one and see what happens.
Chiha.
What? It does say Chiha, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's Mount Chiha.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. All right, God, I hope this is right. If it'll come up for me. It's just taking its sweet old time.
There's a camel, so
hold on. Let me go in this. I gotta zoom in, and then I gotta move my mouse around to pull this thing up.
Benin. Yes, Benin is in Pantera. There's a lion, so it must be in Africa.
Yeah, we got to be close to where this thing is, I think. Maybe. All right, hold on. I don't know. I'm not seeing those lakes like I was earlier in that one river that runs straight across. Oh, I'm so sorry for doing this to you guys. It's just when I move it with my mouse, this site is so weird and touchy. I don't think we're fully to the other end of Africa, though.
No, we're not high enough.
Yeah. What's this? What are these things?
Pyramids?
I don't know. Maybe like. Well, there's
Sudan.
cities all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Sudan pyramids are shaped like that.
Look at all these cities in Africa.
Yeah, like the other map with all these castles in Africa. It's crazy. Yeah, Zaire. Yeah, Lago de Zam. It's in Africa, all right. But,
Yeah, they're probably pyramids, like those Nubian ones and stuff. Yeah.
Like it's like a Sudan, Budan.
All right. Well, I'll try to locate that myself and see if I can figure anything out with it. Because that Eye of the Sahara should be there somewhere on some map somewhere of what it was or what it looked like. Whether it was some sort of a lake that dried up or what, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably find out.
Thank you so much for coming on me and hanging out so long. I had a great time, and I hope we can do this again soon.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. It was a blast again. So fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Instead of just watching you every video, now I can talk to you. So
yes, absolutely. And I got to say, you're a natural at this. You've been doing really good. We should get a channel set up on your end and get you live streaming as well.
I have my channel, but I don't have 1,000, so I can't like live stream directly from YouTube. I think I'm at 700 now.
Oh, I think that might be for your phone for you to do that. But you should be able to live stream on your computer.
Because at the beginning of the year, I had like 100 subscribers on my YouTube, and now I'm at 7, so it goes pretty well.
Well, I'm going to put your link to your channel. You're going to send me the link, and I'm going to make sure it's in the show notes below. So send that to me in the message. So afterwards, I make sure I put it in the show notes, and I'm going to talk to you, message you about StreamYard and how we can get you set up with StreamYard and test out and see if you can live stream now on your channel and get you set up. Because I think you would do really well streaming, and I could be a guest on your show.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never thought about this, so it's a first for me. Like I said, it's been like 10 years since I have internet at home, so I'm pretty stoked.
Well, no, you're going to take off now. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And everybody who stayed and hung out this whole time, if you're coming in late on the back end of things, please rewind. You missed a lot of really good stuff. We're trying to pick apart his story, his narrative, and we're trying to uncover what our story was and what our story is and where we're going. Because if we don't understand the past, we'll be doomed to repeat it. And these people who are running this shit show bank on our ignorance. So we can't let that happen, and let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. I love you guys, and we're out of here. If I can end this broadcast correctly. Bye.